Sunday night, the Bruins wasted only 10 seconds in Game 3 before taking their first lead in the series as John Bice banged home the rebound of the Cam Neely shot. It was 1-0 Boston. Later in the first period, Greg Johnston potted the eventual game winner as the Bees held off a late Edmonton rush and got back into the series with a big 2-1 win. Tonight, from the Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, the Bruins look to even the best-of-7 series with the Oilers at 2 games each in tonight's game number 4. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Boston Bruins Stanley Cup Hockey on TV 38. I'm Gene Levanchi. The Bruins said before Game 3 life would be a lot easier if they could operate with the lead, and that's exactly the way things turned out. The Bees would like nothing better than to follow the same pattern tonight by getting the early lead. Now, the importance of tonight's game needs no embellishment. Most observers feel the team that wins tonight's game will probably go on to win the series. Now, to no one's surprise, Andy Moog and Bill Ranford will be the goalies again tonight. The Bruins will still be without the services of Dave Poulin. Now, as well as the Bruins have played during this season as a team, some changes may be in order next season. And coming up between periods tonight, Kevin DuPont of the Boston Globe will share his thoughts on that subject, and John Pearson will dissect tonight's action on the telestrator. Right now, though, we send you out to the Northlands Coliseum where Fred Cusick and Derek Sanderson are standing by for the call of tonight's game. Gentlemen.
Thank you, Gene. Nice chat with Phil Esposito in the pregame, and he really called it like it is.
Well, I'll tell you what we discussed at length how to shake somebody, and it's a very difficult thing to do. Craig Janney has not been used to it, and skating is the key. When you gather from Phil, if you're moving, you can create a lot of offense just by taking your man who's covering you out of the play.
Why do I get the feeling that John Muckler is not going to put Tikkanen on Janney, but play him with Curry and Lamb, or maybe with Messier, Curry, and Tikkanen on the left wing, and go for the attack?
Well, I think you think offense, and you think that Tikkanen with 11 goals or so, you know, he's a big part of their offense, but Misha Tikkanen just waits for his chances. I think his assignment right along has been that defensive mold and lurking around and getting his offensive opportunities, putting the puck in the net when he gets a chance. I don't think Muckler will go away with it. It's been successful. I think he'll stay with it.
Well, you talk about fine hockey games. How about Bob Carpenter winning those faceoffs and playing well defensively?
Bobby Carpenter is skating real well, I think, and that's the key to him. Bobby, when he moves, he creates a lot of offense. He's a very tough man, upper body. He's very strong. He's a great checker. He is shut down since the injury to Poulin. Mark Messier pretty well, but I don't think he really pays attention to, I'm just going to shut him down. I think Bobby Carpenter wants to generate a lot of offense. I think he wants to help the hockey club in a point column.
Well, you talked about it with Phil Esposito, Tikkanen on Janney, but it hasn't diminished the great play of Cam Neely and the opportunity.
Now, well, so Cam Neely is playing awful well, and he's generating his own offense because he's working so hard, and he's bullying his way to the net. I think what it is Ranford's come up with some very big saves. Neely, however, has got to crack that Ranford spell. He's got to continue to go to the net and shoot the puck whenever he has an opportunity. Not to look to make the play back to a cover, Janney, just shoot it and go for rebounds.
Well, Mark Messier very much under discussion. And going back to that game the other night, there were occasions late in a period when Messier, who was not winning faceoffs against Bob Carpenter, was replaced instead by Glenn Anderson. We wondered about it, but didn't speculate on any injury to Messier. But obviously, he has some problem.
Well, they're talking about possible cracked ribs or whatever. If it is a rib cartilage or an injury of that sort, which the Edmonton Oilers are not releasing anyone really, it's going to definitely hurt when you pull with your arms, when you're trying to check a man, hold him up, win a face-off, things like that. He seems to be shooting the puck well with his hands. He's not getting a full body into it. And it seems to get worse as the game goes along. And I think that's when he started letting Anderson take face-offs to no avail. But Mark Messier going to come out hard in the first period. We'll see how he goes tonight.
Well, it's interesting that aside from the face-offs, that would be the only clue if you look back on it. The fact that he didn't take the face-off. Boy, he skated very, very well. Moved, played the power play, did a full share of penalty killing. So Messier played a lot. We'll have the opening face-off in just a moment.
TV 38 Sports presents Boston Bruins Hockey, brought to you in part by Stop and Shop Supermarkets. It's time to stop and shop. Your participating New England Dodge dealers. For cool cash on hot cars and trucks, it's Advantage Dodge. By Bradley's Department Stores. By the Harvard Community Health Plan. By Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. And by the 9X Yellow Pages. If it's out there, it's in here.
Eastern Clothing of Watertown offers the athletic cut suit for the physically developed, hard-to-fit man. Eastern Clothing, the home of the athletic cut suit.
Every day, more people count on Bank of New England than any other bank in New England. More than 1 million New Englanders have their savings with us. Almost as many do their checking with us. And this year, they'll use our New England-wide ATM network over 30 million times. When New Englanders look for financing, for their homes, their businesses, and their future, they look to us first. Today, New Englanders will find checking and savings accounts so innovative, their performance is actually guaranteed. And they'll have the technology for banking at home and the convenience of loan approval right over the phone.
Getting it done for you.
Today, we do business with more families in more communities than any other bank in New England. Today, more than ever, the bank for New England is the Bank of New England.
We're getting it done for you. Getting it done.
With more interior room and cargo capacity than a compact Nissan, Toyota, Chevy S10, or Ford Ranger, the mid-size Dodge Dakota Club Cab leaves the competition flat, Japanese or American. A sizable advantage, no matter how you stack them.
Now get up to $2,000 cash back on selected trucks.
You've got 10 minutes to catch your flight and 5 calls to return. No problem. Card your calls. New England Telephone, part of the 9X family.
Welcome to Edmonton, Northlands Coliseum. Referee for tonight's game going to be Don Koharski, linesman Wayne Bonney and Ron Finn. There's Mr. Koharski discussing things, checking, make sure starting lineups are in place, clock's working. Don't do that often. He's over talking to the Edmonton bench. Phil Ranford can go over the Bruins. The Bruins got to figure out a way to get to this man. He is playing extremely well. And with playing well goes good luck. Andy Moog, revolutionary theory of letting opposing forwards scratch the net off its moorings to get a face-off. Hope it works. Andy back on track. Definitely playing well again. Bruins need this game, Fred.
All right, set for the face-off. Bob Carpenter at center ice against Mark Lamb. Very effective player. Starting at left wing Simpson, at right wing Anderson. Now Mike Milbury announces his lineup first. Janney is at left wing and Tikkanen is not out there.
Well, they wouldn't expect it. Tikkanen started, and they would maybe think Janney come right off. Maybe Tikkanen won't get the assignment.
Well, that's my hunch. And at center ice, Janney fell down. And the puck batted in by Anderson just wide of Moog. 2 forecheckers deep. And Boston trying to work it out. Ooh, and 2 Edmonton Oilers. A collision back there, an injured Edmonton player.
Messier just wrapped Anderson trying to hit Glenn Wesley, who sidestepped all the trouble. Wow, that'll get us to Anderson. I think the wind knocked out him. Watch Glenn Wesley, a little soft shoe here, a little double step.
Glenn Anderson is down.
When they get to it. Right here. There you go. There, I got Anderson anyway. Mark Messier showing no signs of injury there. A solid check.
And Anderson, okay, back up. Goes to the bench. The faceoff will be in the Edmonton zone.
Now the keys to this hockey game. Hound Edmonton's defense. The Bruins last 25 minutes of the third game never really got in on Edmonton's defense. 1 forecheck is all that's necessary with wingers covered. 2 rattle Bill Ranford. Talk to him, much like along the lines of the movie Slapshot. Say things to him. Anything to upset him, get him off his game. Tug him, pull him. Not to get a penalty, though. And the Teakin and Janney connection, will it come to be once again tonight? Well, Janney's got to figure out, Fred, how to shake him.
Well, Tikkanen's out there, but he's checking Neely right now because Curry is the right winger and Janney is the left winger now with Carpenter at center. The faceoff is to the right of Bill Ranford. Bob Carpenter winning many, many faceoffs, and Wesley and Bourque inside the Oiler line. Lamb against Carpenter. One cleanly for Wesley. The shot, the save, Ranford. And the rebound, it was pushed out to Huddy. Interference call here.
He's going to give Carpenter a penalty for hitting Ranford.
And a power play for Edmonton right off the bat. On the situation, Wesley had a good shot in.
They've been letting that go the whole series. And there's Carpenter smiling at it. What do I have to do? A harmless bump that they've let go. There's Carpenter turning, trying to get out of the way. Then he gives him a little hip just to rattle him, trying to upset Ranford. Because Bill Ranford likes to come out and challenge the shooters. If you notice how far out of the crease he was, when he's out there, he's fair game. Andy Van Hellemond putting an early stop to that.
The faceoff outside the Edmonton line. A power play for the Oilers right off the bat. Interesting thing on that rebound, it was well controlled by Ranford. There was a short rebound in front of him, but he was able to pass it to Huddy, and they moved it away. So he did
that's
control
what you saw.
it.
No, I thought he went to garner it in and ended up poke checking it away almost to Neely.
All right, we have 2 opinions.
No, often we do.
Ruotsalainen keeps it in. Tipped now by Smith into the stands, and the faceoff is called outside the Boston line. Bob Carpenter in the penalty box for interference. However, if Koharski is, as we look at John Muckler, is going to call them that close on the goaltenders, there were far worse infractions the other night on Andy Moe.
Oh, I know, but by the same token, just as long as he calls them both sides of the fence, that's all. Maybe that Bode's theory about crashing the net, maybe he's going to take that out. Maybe it's just too much that the goaltenders are getting hit.
Carter wins the draw against Messier. That's been one of the stories of the game. Now, John Carter is not a faceoff man. He hasn't taken 5 faceoffs all year, and he won that cleanly. He's out there as a penalty killer with Brian Propp. The drive in, Messier going for it. Batted away and out of the zone. Picked up by Tikkanen. 1:15 left on the Edmonton power play, right at the start of the game. Curry over the line, beautiful stick handler. Maneuvers it wide and drills one on the corner and a save. Fine, solid stop by Andy Moog on Curry, who drilled that one from 35 feet on the right wing side. Right on.
2 Bruins penalty killers overran the right side of the building, allowed Curry the
Bruins break it up.
Chance to come in.
In the center ice, it is cleared by Bob Sweeney. He's on with Burridge. Don Sweeney is on defense with Gary Galley, and 35 seconds left on the Edmonton power play. Anderson over the line, lets it go. Save, popped in the air. Lamb couldn't get control. Behind the net, fought for. Bob Sweeney jams it up, moves it up the boards. Galley there, can't clear it out. Now Burridge does. 20 seconds on the power play. Puck is cleared in and over the line. Anderson in for a score. Anderson, a power play goal with 11 seconds left on the power play as he faked Moog, who came out to challenge him, and put the backhander home.
They were killing that penalty so well. Don Sweeney got caught standing flat-footed on a bouncing puck right here. Tries to take the man, just steps right around him. Over to Anderson. There's the pause. Galley stayed for the playback to Simpson. Galley's got to go to the puck. You cannot allow a player like Anderson that type of opportunity. Andy Moog come out, figuring Galley was going to take the front of the net away. Gary opted to take the pass away, leave Moog the shooter.
Simpson gets the assist. Anderson the goal, a power play goal. And Edmonton leads 1-0 right at the start. At center ice, Murphy trying to break over the line, does. Holds it, drops it across, and intercepted by Neely. Bork, Neely, away now for John Bice, trying to move in, can't do it. Cleared away by Muni. Ray Bork starts the play with Alan Peterson. Peterson's pass is missed, rolls in deep, and around the boards it is Murphy. Checked in deep, battling for it, Bice. It goes to Graves. Fed around the boards, Bork able to jam it up the boards in deep, but Muni is there. Muni trying to drive it out. Lock kept in by the Bruins, bounces in front. Neely can't get it. Neely threw a punch at a defenseman checking him, and both are going out. Muni and Neely out. With the score, Edmonton 1, Boston 0. We'll be back in a moment.
I told Bradley's I'd do commercials for them for 2 reasons. 1, they're pretty good guys. 2, they know how to save us money. I checked it out. You know what I mean?
From Gillette, check the low prices on Track 2, Atra, or the new Sensor, the latest in shaving technology. Stock up on Oral-B toothbrushes, Ultra and Regular, the brand more dentists use. And new Degree deodorant and antiperspirant with body heat activated formula.
Okay, low prices, great values, and Bradley's. Now that's what I call a hat trick.
The following is a Mass Millions alert.
This week's estimated Mass Millions jackpot is worth $15 million. But don't panic. You have until 7:45 Friday night to play your number.
Right here. Now Galley tries to take the pass away. Great move by Glenn Anderson. Nice play to set it up. Don Sweeney, just a bad bounce of the puck. Beats him, and he was standing still. Got to be skating.
The goal coming at 2:13. Matching penalties here to Cam Neely and Craig Muni for roughing. Buchberger checking the Bruins. Wesley clears it. Ranford handling it at the other end. Behind the net, in pursuit. Burridge, but Huddy gets it. This pass out stopped. Fed back in by Galley. Now Gregg takes over. McTavish is out there. And Peter Klima didn't play much the other night. He's a left wing. Edmonton clears it away carefully. They will just wait for their opportunity. Johnston hustles in trying to get it, but Huddy has it. Checked in deep by Johnston, broken up. The puck rolls to Buchberger. Plays it safely around the boards and conservatively, but not out. Janney tried to keep it in, and he is spilled by Gregg. And with it, McTavish to clear it in the Boston end. Wesley. Now Galley starts it out. Galley right back for Wesley. Wesley forced to clear it up. It's stopped by Smith. A lead for Messier. Messier trying to break in. It rolls into Moog. Moog clears it up. Breaks Boston. 3-2 for the moment. Off now to John Bice. Bice over the line. Drops it for Janney. Janney is broken up. Can't get the shot on. And it's cleared to the Boston line. Hoggard trying to get it. Now Peterson. Stopped by Smith. Smith is spilled trying to go over the line. And the Bruins started out. Good break here. On the left, Janney. Janney with Carpenter. For Carpenter in. Never got control. It rolled in for a shot. but really it just deflected off his stick. Carpenter from Janney. Carpenter trying to put it back at the point, kept in by Peterson. Peterson for Hoggood, a shot, a save. Ranford tips it wide. Hoggood keeps it in the corner. It is Carter trying to center it, and he is knocked down on the play. Messier out for Simpson. For Messier with Smith heading for the net, and the shot went wide. Messier was trying to pass to Smith. A follow-up pass broken up. Bruins started out 3-on-2 possible. Here comes Janney. Janney is checked by Curry. Stolen by Carter. Carter passes, but Carpenter is covered. Trying to clear it in. It is stopped by Smith. 1-0 the Oilers on a power play goal by Anderson. First period. In the center ice comes Curry. Wide open game. His backhander just missed the far side. Lamb keeps it in. Stopped by Bourque behind the net. 2 checkers on him. Curry breaks him up. Christian breaks it up. It is kept in by Tikkanen. His pass goes to the Edmonton zone. 6 minutes into the first period. 1-0 Edmonton lead. The shots are 4 Edmonton, 3 Boston. Lamb can't move in. Curry takes it. Gives it to Tikkanen. Tikkanen checked on the play by Bob Sweeney, and the play offside. Oilers 1, Bruins nothing. Back in a moment.
What's that drink they got over there at Johnson's?
Probably something for yuppies.
I don't think so.
Well, it's sure not something for the local boys. might be a geriatric product. Or an elixir for your love life, Morris. Morris?
Very fine. Great tasting fruit juices and drinks.
Bill Ranford.
Well, it doesn't really get the shot off. This is the beginning of it. Nice curl and cut, stay on side. Bobby Carpenter driving to the net at this point. Anderson, no way he's going to catch him. Tries to play the pass, no way. He can't control it on the backhand. Just slips away from him. And he had a second effort at it. Just trickled away. Here's the dump through to Smith. He doesn't get a handle on it either. That redirects a little bit. That's dangerous.
It is wide open, Edmonton style. 13:40 left in the first period as they lead 1-0. And Doris dressing for this one is at right wing now with Brickley. Brickley moves it into the corner. Takes the hit. Fights for it. Gives it to Doris. Doris back for Brickley, but Brickley down on the ice. Covered on the play. Bourque moves in. Keeps it in. Graves covering Brickley. Doris on the boards trying to make the play. Oilers really checking well. It goes in front, but covered there by Murphy. Taken by Prop. Prop puts it in front. All alone, Brickley couldn't get control for the backhander. And the Oilers break it out. Murphy coming on Bourque. Forced deep. Wide. Behind the net. Keeps control. Spins around. Puts it in front. Deflected on Moog. Big stop. Now the goal went in, but it's too late. The whistle by Koharski. It deflected off Graves. Was blocked by Moog. Was poked in later, but the whistle had blown. Jelena fired it in.
Pokes it. Don Koharski blew the whistle. Moog had it smothered. But then a great effort by Jelena. Tried to take Moog, the puck, the whole 9 yards over the goal line.
You can hear the whistle before the puck goes in the net.
And no one here is really that upset about it. They all heard it as well. Nice cutback by Murphy. Across the crease. There goes the deflection off the foot. Moog gets it with the right knee. Now he's going to put a hand on it. There's going to be Jelena coming in late right there. Whistle had already blown.
Well, the key, of course, is Koharski lost sight of it. And in the pileup of players. That's a couple now he is called back in game number 1. He did it.
Big save there by Moog. Great reaction to get the right leg there.
12:53 left in the first period. 1-0 Edmonton on a power play goal by Glenn Anderson. The shots are 5 for the Oilers and 3 for Boston. And that last setup was Joe Murphy. Acquired from Detroit. Boy, he put on a one-man show there to set it up. The draw is for Galley. Galley checked in deep by Buchberger. The puck rolls back to Gregg. Rutsalainen. Oilers steal, trying to convert it. Janney, he poked it away from Ruotsalainen, but couldn't convert it. Behind Ruotsalainen. At center ice, Janney can't get it. Now McTavish starts back. The clear in wide. Janney winding up the boards. Buchberger tried to line him up, went followed through and hit Moog. But there is no penalty there. It is 1-0 Oilers over the Bruins. Back in a moment.
I want my patients to have the best.
You feeling sharp pains, or is it just...
So I chose to practice with Harvard Community Health Plan.
All right. Did the CBC...
I can consult with top specialists.
EKG was fine. Looks normal.
And I get to work with some of the best hospitals. My patients get more than a family doctor.
Take care of it.
Great. Thanks.
They get a family of doctors.
And the faceoff coming up in the Boston zone. 12:13 left here in the first period. Anderson, the only scorer, with 11 seconds left on the power play.
There's Peter Klima on the bench, the one that coughed it up to Janney.
I said Ruotsalainen, it was Klima. Christian on the faceoff, stopped by Messier as he cleared the zone. Back comes Simpson, penetrating. Messier's shot, saved by Andy Moog, and that was on the net. Bruins break it out. In the center ice, Hoggood off for Prop. Prop over the line. Looking, moves it in deep. Ruotsalainen there is smacked down on the play. Back up, it deflects around the boards. Taken by Christian for a shot. Glove save, Ranford, no rebound. Face-off now to the left of Ranford. He likes to get that glove on it. It did there, and the face-off in the Edmonton zone.
Dave Christian, it was a bouncing puck, fluttered somewhat, didn't get solid wood on it. Ranford eats it up. Greg Hoggood taking it to the end boards.
John Muckler.
Getting rough out there. There's Hoggood, not in the play. Gets hit for his trouble regardless by Simpson, and Neely decides to take Ruotsalainen for a little hit. Dump. Turnabout's fair play.
John Bice with Janney and Neely. Double shifting here by Mike Milbury. Putting Neely and Janney back out there. The Bruins trail 1-0. And Anderson, who scored the goal, rushes to center ice. Clears in. Bounces to the corner. Bork sweeps it around the boards and out. Ruotsalainen now to Tikkanen. For Anderson. Cleared in. Back for Simpson. Simpson has it in the corner. Picks up the trailer. Muni able to keep it in. Drive it around the corner. Messier, Peterson. Yelling for a call on Alan Peterson for holding Messier. A battle in the corner. And a face-off called to the left of Andy Moog. The shots are 6, Edmonton 4, Boston. We played 9 minutes here in the first period, and Edmonton leads it as play gets a little chippy now. Muni moving in, and Kevin Lowe, Simpson, Messier.
Neely went over for Messier. Enough of the physical stuff.
Waiting for the face-off now as we look at Mark Messier. His last face-off, John Crowder won it rather handily, so let's see if he takes this one.
Well, he doesn't seem to be hurt as far as I'm concerned. The check on Anderson should have hurt Messier more. He's got a rib condition.
Looking at Cam Neely, who was given a 2-minute penalty. Roughed up Muni, and there was counter-punching by Muni. They both went off. But the one power play paid off for Edmonton.
Oh, that penalty was earlier in the game. He's on the bench now.
Bob Carpenter on the faceoff against Mark Lamb. And plenty of time taken.
Alan Peterson's thrown 3 great hits so far. Playing it tough.
Huddy and Gregg inside the line. Back to Gregg. Gregg over to Huddy. Huddy wraps it to the backboards. Fought for behind the net. And Carpenter takes it. Leads the rush out. On the left side to Carter. Carter over the line. The shot. High. Didn't miss by too much. Missed the short side. High. Carpenter in to get it. Quickly back to Peterson. Lets it go. Bounce. Wide. Loose in front. Couldn't be controlled by Boston. Kept in by Bork. For Carter behind the net. Swings in front. Ranford has gone down and holds it at the short side. Bob Sweeney lets it go to Bork. Bork fires it in deep. Around the corner. Carpenter behind the net. Knocked down. Carter trying to make the play from behind the net. Pinned by Huddy. Greg pinning Carpenter. They still battle for it. No whistle. Goes to Bob Sweeney. And he can't set up Peterson, who had pinched in too closely. Cleared all the way to the Boston end. Back for it, Ray Bork. Good pressure by Boston. Plenty of it there. Led by Bob Carpenter. And here's Bob Sweeney broken up by Curry. Curry drops it for Ruotsalainen. Right point shot blocked. And Peterson starts it out. Peterson can't set up a play with Carter. Mike Milbury making a line change. 1-0 Edmonton. Smith with it. Smith starts it out. Up the middle. Over the line. Broken up. Cleared by Hoggood. Can't set up Neely. Now Carter finally clearing in. John Bice is out there with Neely. Mike Milbury using the Janny Neely Bice line quite a bit. Murphy starts it away. In the center ice on the left for Jelena. Jelena hit by Hoggood. Checked by Neely. Kept in by Murphy. Murphy gets away from Neely. Cuts in front. Shot and a save. And Joe Murphy has been a standout. There's two great plays he made. He just faked Cam Neely, moved in for a testing backhander, and Moe came through with the stop. Oilers 1, Bruins nothing. Back in a moment.
Wear your black and gold. Show your colors for the Bruins, baby. Wear your black and gold. The Bruins are gonna go all the way. Wear your black and gold. Scrub the Oilers from the finals, Boston. Wear your black and gold. The Bruins are gonna go all the way. Wear your black and gold. This is the year for the Bruins, baby. Wear your black and gold. The Bruins are gonna go all the way.
From Cross Motors. Remember, the race figure can be found on page 25.
Joe Murphy, who is a #1 pick of Detroit, and then just didn't get along with Jacques Demers.
Right here, Al Peterson with a one-time slap shot. Ranford down and out. There's a bouncing puck on open net. Carter can't lose, trying to kick at it. Right here, Murphy was in the corner. Everyone expects his immediate pass. There's a nice little maneuver inside and out with a soft pair of hands and a backhand. Bounces out front. Big save by Mulligan in the backhand.
1-0 Edmonton. We have 9 minutes left here in the first period. And back for it now. Muni in pursuit. Burridge. Muni fell down around the boards. Brickley able to keep it in. Drops it back for Wesley. Wesley a shot. Bounces in front and blocked. Never reached Ranford. And Muni gets it at center ice and clears in the Boston end. Shots are 7 Oilers, 4 Boston. Jelena keeps it in. Murphy again. But Jelena just broken up by Wesley. He would have walked in alone, and back comes Christian. Christian fires in wide. The long rebound. Brickley moving for it, leaves it. Carter trying to get a shot. Can't. Galley with it. Shot in front, never reached Ranford. Blocked 30 feet in front. Out comes Buchberger. Buchberger ridden off. Don Sweeney with it. Bruins clear it out. And wanted a call on Galley. McTavish over the line now. Offside to Buchberger, and a face-off called. It is Oilers 1 and Bruins nothing. We're on TV 38 at the Northlands Coliseum.
Delivering pizzas is hard. New Busch Light is easy because it's cold filtered to make it the easiest drinking light beer around. So after a hard day, remember New Busch Light is easy, and that makes it a very easy choice. Let's recap. Getting your wisdom teeth pulled is hard. New Busch Light is easy because it's cold filtered to make it very easy drinking. New Busch Light is easy. Avoiding a cover charge is hard. So make the easy choice.
There's Glenn Wesley on the bench. Glenn playing another great game. A lot of what Wesley does goes unnoticed. There's the poke check. Jelena all alone in front. That was a big save. Andy Moe got his mercy. Glenn Wesley came to his aid. A lot of subtle things Wesley's doing well. He's skating real well, and that's the important thing in his game. If he's skating, he creates an awful lot of action out there.
On the draw, driven in by Huddy. Don Sweeney. 4 checkers are deep. Gets it to Carpenter. Carpenter in the center ice. And up for Carter. Over the line for Galley. Galley going deep, trying to move it in front. Huddy checks him, breaks it up. Huddy keeps control. And Tikkanen Buchberger breaks it out, fires down into the Boston end. Back for it, McTavish. Wheeling on the boards. Holding. Moves it in deep, and Carter gets it. Carter trying to clear it. Ruotsalainen has moved way up, keeps it in. Now it's blocked. Carpenter with it. Carpenter trying to set up the play with Galley. Galley from center ice rolls it in. And Mike Milbury's making a change. It bounces into the Boston end and taken over by Peter Duras. Duras turns the net, starts it out, connects with Prop. Prop breaking, leading the charge. Duras following up. The clear in wide. Ranford out of the net, can't get it. Duras in to get it, trying to make the play to the point. Still battles for it. Prop trying to move it, can't. Check, taken over by Smith. Smith, Anderson, and Anderson able to break away into center ice to Simpson. Over the line now. Back for Anderson. He missed it. A break for Boston. If Bork can move with it. Bork moves to Duras. Bork following up. Duras over the line. The shot blocked. Wide by Kevin Lowe. There are 3 shots in a row by Boston, never reaching Ranford. This could be icing, but Lowe comes out to play it. Up the boards. Oilers now able to keep it in. Simpson in the corner. Messier, a wrap. A penalty coming up on maybe Messier for slashing. Here's Simpson taking down Moog way out of the net. And Moog wraps him. Simpson down on the ice. Moog was 50 feet out of the net. He must have gone at Simpson. Let's see what Kohaski calls.
When he was coming out, Andy's coming to the bench. Simpson took him.
It is a slash by Messier. It is Oilers 1, Bruins nothing. We'll return in a moment.
Look out tomorrow.
Recently, the editors of Motor Week gave the Grand Prix sports sedan high marks for its power, handling, and braking. But what also impressed them was its interior, roomy, stylish, and so attentive to every detail of passenger comfort and driver control. They agreed. Their driver's choice as America's best sedan was the Grand Prix Sports Sedan. From Pontiac, of course.
Mark Messier played a very physical style. Thought it was more of a cross-check than boarding, but right here, man to the net, shoulder check into Bork. That was the penalty. Andy Moog trying to get to the bench. And Koharski never saw what the infraction or anything that took place, but Moog and Simpson ended on the ice.
Janney and McTavish into the corner. Janney can't get it. McTavish does. Trying to work it out. Bruins battle to keep it in, and they can't do it. Wesley tried. Tikkanen is out there. Bice, Neely, Janney the line. And the Oilers have a power play goal by Anderson, the only score of the game, and this is Boston's first power play. Shots are 7, the Oilers, 4 for Boston. Wesley starts it out. Up for John Bice. Bice gains the line, over the line, going deep. Checked by Huddy. Puck banged around the corner, moving for it. Wesley can't contain it. And out comes Tikkanen. Tikkanen on Hoggood. A shot and a save by Andy Moog. A 40-footer by Tikkanen. Hoggood now to Wesley. Wesley wraps it in. Neely moving with Brickley. Janney gets it back for Bork. Cross for Wesley. Wesley holding. Now into the corner. Gets a return pass. Janney tips it for Neely. Neely holding. Now behind the net for Janney. Janney is covered on the play. Oh, here's a quick whistle for Ranford. Brickley not really near him. And he pounced on the puck and able to tie it up right to the right of the net. 5:19 left here in the first period. 52 seconds left on the Messier penalty for boarding.
Edmonton very aggressive in their penalty killing. They're going one man right to the puck, whether it be a defenseman or a forward. Hopefully they have one man in front of the net. That's all they need, and that's what the way they've been playing it, chasing the puck, forcing the Bruins to move it awful quick. And you need that one great individual move. You're going to have to beat the checker and find somebody deep at the point, because Edmonton's not covering them at all.
Janney draws. It's over for Bork. Shot. It went high. Rebound. Neely a shot and save in front. It's back for Bourque, closing, firing. It is blocked by Muni. Never reached the net. The Bruins with 3 great chances there on the power play. Galley back for Neely, broken up by Muni. Muni plays it around for Huddy. Huddy able to clear it out. Bruins regroup. Galley and Bourque. Now to Neely over the line, left wing side. Holds it. Galley trying to feed back in. It is broken up and cleared away. Janney starts on the right wing side, and the play is ruled offside. Down to 10 seconds left. And in that flurry in front of the Edmonton net, climaxed by a Bourque shot that was blocked by Simpson, the Bruins had some excellent chances.
Edmonton is just, there's Muni, got to be a little sore after that one. Took that in the foot. Bruins got to get their shots through. Right here it comes in. It's a ton of room. Ranford, top of his crease, set up, spreads the legs. Doesn't get through. 2 diving Oilers.
That's right. It was Muni, not Simpson. Muni blocking it. 10 seconds left on the Boston power play. 4:37 left here. And the Bruins do not have a shot on despite that flurry. That looked like glittering opportunities for the Bruins. Glenn Anderson, the only scorer of the game. Hoggood. Off now for Johnston. Over the line, Bering. Tough angle. Shot and a save. Beautiful right skate save. Johnston can't get the rebound. Taken down behind the play. And here's Tikkanen breaking in alone. And he stopped. He hit the post. Now it's centered. It's stopped by Carpenter. He faked on a Moog, but then hit the side of the net. And the Bruins, John Carter clears it back in. Tikkanen broke right up the middle. In deep, Carter rolls it in front. Peterson, the shot high and way out of the net is Ranford to grab it and hold on to it. And a face-off called in the Edmonton zone.
Bruins got to sustain this. They're definitely all over Edmonton at this point. Got to get shots through. Then it comes back to Peterson at the point. Doesn't get good wood on it, and Ranford gets back into the crease. There's Tikkanen on the bench. Randy Burridge, you wonder where he is. Right here, Tikkanen coming in. That was, Greg Johnson was pulled down the other end of the building and allowed this to happen. Tikkanen just can't tuck it in the corner. And there's Ranford out of the net. Carter gets it through a maze. Comes out to Peterson, and it's just a fluttering shot. Messier wanted to reach and touch it. Ranford well out of the net. Burridge is in the dressing room. The rivets have come out of the blade of his skate. That's going to be a serious equipment repair. The other skates that he has as backups doesn't want to go with. It's going to take some time to fix that. Kenny Flagler, that's his assignment.
Carpenter against Graves, and John Muckler's gotten good mileage from this line with Murphy on the wing. A couple of great individual efforts. The Bruins are able to keep it in. Spot for long shots by Carter, and Ranford likes to use the glove, and he hangs on, and Smith wraps up Johnston, who tried to look for a rebound. Well, there was none. Ranford big on that left glove, and he grabbed that one, and matching penalties being called by Koharski. With the score, Edmonton 1, Boston nothing. Will return in a moment.
All you lovers of McDonald's salad, get ready for some tasty news. Now there's something special for a limited time that we've tossed on just for you. Shrimp! Catch all the shrimp in McDonald's shrimp salad. It's a shrimp lover's honeymoon. Yeah, all the shrimp in our fresh tossed salad will fill up your afternoon. This cool crustacean could sweep the nation, so dive in, Joe, cause by now you know McDonald's shrimp salad, all dressed up and ready to go.
Ruotsalainen and John Carter, they get matching penalties on the face-off. Will be in the Edmonton zone. 3:49 left here. The shots are 8 Edmonton, 6 for Boston. And maybe forget the shots, those missed opportunities in front. Like Tikkanen's rush was not a shot on. He made a nice fake at the Bruins.
Have attempted a lot more shots, and I think I would say at this point safely 7 or 8 of them have been blocked. You've got to get those shots through the bodies, and that comes from trying to put too much on it. You're trying to shoot at 100 miles an hour when really all you have to do is get it on the net. Ranford moving. You can catch him with an off-speed shot like Johnson's the other night. Greg didn't try to fire it through the back of the net. All you have to do is get it over the goal line. You don't have to dent the mesh. Just get it past Ranford, no matter how you do it.
Christian with Weiss on the right and Burridge on the left. McTavish on the draw. And it goes to Lowe. Now to Muni. And they break it out. Anderson looking for Messier. Doesn't work, but rolls in the Boston zone. Bork there. Check behind the net. Messier with it. Pokes it in front. Anderson. A score! Anderson set up on the play by Messier. Gets his second goal of the night to make it 2-0. Careless defense by Boston there. Ray Bork had a chance to break it up.
Well, it was a bouncing puck. Bork going in for it. No options. Had to get complete control of the puck. Once it bounces, it goes behind the net. No one's got Anderson in front of the net. That you cannot have. Right there, one time, bang. You give Glenn Anderson too many opportunities, he's going to kill you. Great offense from Anderson.
And now it is 2-0. Anderson from Messier. 3:33 left in the first period. Anderson dead to rights in front of the net. Tikkanen checking Bork. Bork gets it away. Tikkanen hauled down on the play. Bruins are able to clear it out, but savage forechecking there by Edmonton. Or I should say relentless forechecking, and Bruins were just able to clear it out. And away comes Curry. Now to Lamb. Lamb clears it. Curry hustles in. Gets it. Behind the net, broken up by Ray Bork. Bork away on the left wing side. Prop's pass up is stopped. Cleared away by Randy Gregg. An offside pass off the boards to Lamb, and the face-off call. 2:51 left. Back to the studio. Gene Levanchi, a preview of our first intermission.
All right, Fred, thank you very much. Are there any Bruins hoping to cash in on their Stanley Cup appearance once the series is over? Well, coming up between the first and second periods tonight, Kevin Dupont of the Boston Globe will tell us if he thinks there is a pot of gold for the Bees at the end of the Stanley Cup rainbow. And as always, John Pearson will join us with his expert analysis. Until then, we return you to the Northlands Coliseum with Fred and Derek.
The goal by Anderson is second of the night at 16:27 from Messier and Simpson.
Well, the Bruins find themselves somewhat of a hole here. They've got to get their shots through. They've got to continue to skate. Edmonton defense is certainly beatable.
The draw, one for Huddy. Messier getting that draw. He goes back to collect it. Starts it out, swooping. The lead bounces in deep. Simpson there. He is hit by Galley. Galley went down, but Don Sweeney starts it out. And fails to connect with Janney. Driven back in by Gregg in the play. Offside with 2:29 left here in the first period. So the reverse of game number 3, where the Bruins took a 2-0 lead with an early goal and a late goal. Anderson scored early on a power play.
Bruins got to get that goal that's going to get them started. They need some kind of a break that's going to go their way to have Edmonton start to tighten up a little bit. When Edmonton's got a 2-0 lead, they're just going to pour on the offense. The Bruins will get a chance to sneak into this game. They'll get their chances, and they've got to bury one. It just cannot go on infinitum if you don't just make sure it goes in the net.
Over the line comes Burridge. Burridge trying to move in. Lost control. Takes a wicked hit on the boards. That by Muni. Muni's been throwing his weight around for the Oilers. Johnston, Burridge fight for it, dig for it, and the Oilers break it out. Play checked by Andy Brickley. Jelena had it. Now Brickley gets it again. Now it's picked up by Joe Murphy. Murphy broken up by Galley. Johnston hit by Graves, cleared it out. Oilers throwing their weight around. Less than 2 minutes left here. Bruins trying to get to Lowe, and Lowe is able to wait for Graves to come all the way back.
Burridge would have got on him, but Edmonton taking that forechecker, taking the body. It's interference, but being allowed now.
Jelena starts back for the Oilers. Penetrates. The shot deflected wide by Hogwood. Carpenter trying to come out with it. Lost it. Jelena wheels it around. Jelena for the bid. A save by Andy Moog. A beautiful right pad save. Jelena wheels around in the zone again. Now gives it to Murphy to Graves. Murphy is knocked down by Hoggood. Hoggood is down, though, and Bruins desperately able to just clear it out. Murphy taken down behind the play. A power play for the Oilers with 1:08 left. An interference call on
Hoggood.
Greg Hoggood.
Not very happy either.
Shots are 10, Edmonton 6 for Boston. 1:08 left here in the first period.
You don't need that penalty at this point. The minute left. You're going to start the second period. If you kill off this minute and 8, you're going to start the second period on the defensive. Hoggood's held down. No call. There's the little shove, a little push. There's the glove in the face. Now this is what Koharski lets go. Now Hoggood stays with him. He's just talking to him at this point. There, that is a penalty. Don Koharski, I tell you, they think it's essential that the Canadian team wins the Stanley Cup for the national economy, I guess.
Oh, I don't believe that, Derek.
No, I don't.
Koharski called an excellent game. Game number 1. And
Fred, you cannot call that a penalty.
No, we know that, but he doesn't see that a little light stick on Simpson and or on the player Murphy, and Murphy just taking the dive and wasn't looking at
the play
behind. He doesn't have a replay.
The players are awful good at that too, and I think that referees are misled an awful lot. That's why a lot of it gets let go, because they've got to be sure it's a penalty. Unfortunate.
Well, the linesman should come in there and say, hey, A, he took a dive. B, if you're going to give one, give 2, matching. Puck is knocked outside the zone by the Oilers' Messier. They regroup on a power play. They have 1 power play goal. They lead it 2-0. Smith fires in. All the way around. Tikkanen stops it. Tikkanen in the Messier. Intercepted, cleared
off a stick,
and the faceoff is outside the line as Wesley fired that. It went off Tikkanen's stick and into the stands.
We're gonna get to see a replay of this dive. There you go. It's tough. Bruins got to kill this. They're in trouble. They cannot allow the Oilers to get a 3-goal lead.
Bob Carpenter on the faceoff with Mark Messier. 11 shots for the Oilers, 6 for the Bruins. And the draw back to Bork. He lost it. It's covered now by Moog, and Bork able to clear it away. All the way down to Ranford. Ranford to Ruotsalainen. Now to Anderson. Broken up by Boston. Couldn't convert it for a possible break, and Anderson rushes now over the line for Messier. Messier cuts in front, broken up, fights for it, keeps it in, shoots. Oh, almost a hat trick by Anderson there, located just to the left. Just to the right of Andy Moog. As time runs out in the period, Anderson came close to a hat trick and a second power play goal. The score at the end of 1 period is Edmonton 2 and Boston 0. Now Gene Levanchi for tonight's first intermission.
Okay, Fred, coming up in just a moment, we'll go inside the NHL with Kevin Dupont of the Boston Globe, and John Pearson will share some points of interest from tonight's first period. So stay with us as Bruins Stanley Cup Hockey on TV 38 continues.
Really? How did you end up interworking your MS-DOS users with your other PCs?
NET. They designed a CO-based solution that even integrated voice.
I bet you had to make wholesale changes in your terminal gear.
None. And they monitor the network for us. They're even helping us plan for ISDN.
NET handles ISDN?
Yeah.
We're the one for you, New England. New England Telephone, part of the 9X family. In the future, what energy sources will be waiting for our children? Boston Gas will, with the fuel that even now is cleaner and kinder for their environment. The one that comes from our own backyard. The one with enough supply for years to come. And the one our children will use tomorrow for everything, from heating to cooling, to buses that run on natural gas. Boston Gas. For these times, it's a natural.
He didn't keep me waiting. Explained everything.
This woman's not talking about her doctor.
I mean, it wasn't painful.
Or her dentist.
It was just easy.
She's talking about her Ford dealer.
And this guy was great.
And now he has hundreds of Ford Taurus for under $14,500, loaded with air, stereo cassette, and much, much more. Your New England Ford dealer. He sells more cars and trucks than any other dealer, so he doesn't have to act like any other dealer.
Is he single? I can't believe at my age that I am doing this. I put those skis on and I absolutely loved it. I can't even remember as a little kid having the freedom that I have today.
Special banking privileges for people 50 and over. Portfolio 50. Another reason so many New Englanders have chosen to bank with us.
I could be approaching the best time of my life.
Turn the key.
Exxon 93 Supreme.
Feel free.
Precision equipment for precision engines.
Exxon.
And it satisfies the most demanding, sophisticated engines.
Turn the key.
Exxon 93 Supreme, whose purity is so consistent and results so well proven. It's the gasoline designed for drivers who care about their engines. Exxon 93 Supreme, precision equipment for precision engines. Just turn the key.
Glenn Anderson with a pair of goals, one of them coming on the power play. The Edmonton Oilers leading the Boston Bruins 2-0 after the first period of play in Game 4 at the Northlands Coliseum. Joining us now live from Edmonton is Kevin Dupont of the Boston Globe. And Kevin, what do you make of the first period?
Gene, to pick up a little bit from what we talked about in the pregame show, I thought it was interesting. Referee Koharski right away tagged Bobby Carpenter for interfering with the goalie, Bill Ranford. So that was the message right away. There's not going to be any of that tonight. Not chewing up the goaltender in his crease. Very protective of Koharski. The other point significant to make here is, once again, the Oiler touch around the net. Glenn Anderson, especially on that second goal, tucks it away nicely. That's where the Bruins have really stumbled in this series. Once they get a chance up near around the net, they just can't put it away.
What do you think they're going to have to do to get back into this game?
I think, first of all, they're going to have to find a way to cool it out in the neutral zone against the Oilers, because that's, again, we talked about Oilers' bread and butter. They love those long lead passes through the neutral zone, right across the red line. That's exactly what we saw. They began to spread it out. They got a little bit more confidence. They came out with much better legs this time, and they started to just pluck apart through that neutral zone. Bruins are pretty much pressing forward. I think they're going to have to loosen up a little, try to take that away. If they don't do that, they're in a lot of trouble. Meanwhile, to get their own offense going, they're going to have to, I think, just start to just poke it in there and really drive and hopefully crack that Oiler defense. Craig Muni with a beautiful block on Ray Bork, I thought, early in the first period.
All right, now, Kevin, obviously every year brings about change. And with the Bruins as deep as they've been in years, do you anticipate some significant turnover come the fall?
I think so, Gene. We saw Harry Sinden make quite a few moves after 1988 when they got in the finals against the Oilers and lost in 4 straight. I think he's going to do the same again. Worst mistake general managers make, it can be to fall in love with their players, and I don't think Sinden does that. I think he's very practical about it, and the most guilty party of that in the 80s, I think, was Bill Torrey with the Islanders. Islanders won 4 cups. He stayed with a pat hand, and soon the championships drifted away, and you can see the state the Islanders are in now. I think you're going to see quite a few moves, and I think you're going to see the emphasis on 3 areas: skating or speed, touch, and character. That will be the focus. And if I was looking for players to be moved at the end of the year, I'd first look at net. Probably Reggie Lemelin and net will be moved. Defense, I see standing pat. Hopefully Michael Telvin and Gordy Kluzak could make it back. Up front, I think you could see a variety of forwards moved. Lyndon Byers, Bob Sweeney, maybe even Brian Propp, and again, Lyndon Byers. So I think first priority in moving guys is going to be try to pick up a second-round draft pick. The Bruins don't have one this year.
All right, Kevin, very interesting. Thank you very much.
All right, Gene.
Okay, Kevin Dupont of the Boston Globe. In a moment, John Pearson joins us with his analysis. It's next as Boston Bruins hockey on TV 38 continues after these messages.
I told Bradley's I'd do commercials for them for 2 reasons. 1, they're pretty good guys. 2, they know how to save us money. I checked it out. You know what I mean?
Now at Bradley's Shop Vac, the wet dry vac that picks up anything from dirt to liquids, indoors and out, just $49.99. If you like these photos, you'll want an extra set. Bring your film to Bradley's any Tuesday, double photo day, and get that extra set free.
Okay, low prices, great values, and Bradley's. Now that's what I call a hat trick.
Losing your ping pong paddle is hard. New Busch Light is easy. Buying a used car is hard. New Busch Light is easy. Now this, oh boy, this is hard. This, however, is easy. So stop being so hard-headed and reach for the light beer that's cold filtered to make it the easiest drinking around, okay? New Busch Light is easy. Being mistaken for a peanut is hard. So make the easy choice.
What would you do if you discovered somebody stole your mind and there was only one way to get it back? Catch Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Get ready for a surprise.
Total Recall. Rated R.
Starts Friday, June 1st at a theater near you.
Who knows what lurks in the heart of Dodge? The Shadow knows. 45 standard features, more power, a driver's side airbag, price to put Nissan Sentra on ice. Yes. The Shadow knows.
Now get cash back or financing as low as 0% during the Guaranteed Advantage Sell-a-thon.
It's Firestone's Cashback Tire Sale for a limited time only, featuring a $50 factory rebate on a set of 4 Firehawk GTX radials, our newest high-performance tire. Or get instant cash back on the Firestone Supreme Steel Belted Radial, backed by a 55,000-mile treadwear warranty, plus free 1-hour installation. So cash in now at participating Firestone retailers during Firestone's Cashback Tire Sale.
Glenn Anderson once, Glenn Anderson twice. The first one a power play. It's 2-0 Edmonton after the first period of play. The Oilers out shooting Boston 12-7 in the first period. Coming up next, John Pearson.
Experiencing Farfignugan is now easier than ever with zero-down financing on any new Volkswagen.
Hurry in for your best deal during Farfignugan Festature New England Volkswagen dealer. Offer ends May 31st.
I wish I had a buck for every place that tried to beat Midas at foreign car repair. A lot of them have tried. But nobody beats Midas. Nobody.
It's the start of the games. We will be taking names. Grab a piece of sand and your summer tans. You've got to go. It's a never-ending beat, and it's all within your reach. This is your chance to find romance. You've got to go. And we'll drink in the sun. Sun-kiss, sun-kiss. We will drink in the sun-kiss.
My brother, he was only 30, really athletic, captain of his basketball team in college. He was playing hoop one night and had a stroke. He was supposed to die. What happened to him happened to about 20 people in the country last year, but the hospital he went to was one of the best in the world for his type of stroke. They saved his life. That's when it matters that your health plan chooses from the best hospitals. That's when you're glad your health plan is from Blue Cross and Blue Shield.
Every year, British Airways brings 24 million people together. British Airways, the world's favorite airline.
John John Pearson back with us once again. And John, we've talked throughout the series, the Oilers defense doing a fantastic job of not giving up any second shots, and it's continuing through tonight's Game 4 so far.
Gene, you took the words right out of my mouth. I think when you look at it, the thing that has surprised me most has been the good, excellent play of the Edmonton Oilers defense throughout this series, 3 games plus 1 period. And I'm going to show you right here a play that would sort of indicate to us just how good that protection has been. Now, Wesley has got the puck back on that left point. He's going to drive it through a screen of players, and as we roll this through, you're going to see what happens in front. Ranford makes the stop, and there's Greg pouncing on the puck. And we want to show you right here, because Lamb, who's the center iceman for the Edmonton Oilers, his responsibility is to come back and help out the defense, and he's taking Carpenter out right here. You'll see Ranford in good position right here, but this defenseman picks up this loose puck. Now, there are no Bruins in here. The other defenseman is starting to move in to try to pick up Neely, but as we roll this through, you're going to see how the defenseman takes it out of harm's way, and also you saw Carpenter sort of bump in very harmlessly to Ranford, got the first penalty of the game, and the Edmonton Oilers score. It went on the scoreboard. We're going to show you that in a minute, but we want to show you what is a little bit of a change for the Edmonton Oilers. They're now sending 2 forecheckers in, and they're doing it for 2 reasons. Forechecking, if you send 2 men in, gets some skating in this direction around here, gets them to open up their skating legs and gets them to freewheel, which they're doing very, very nicely here. But it also plays a part of intimidation on the player who has the puck for the Bruins in their own end to make the bad pass. As we roll this through, watch the 2 forecheckers for Edmonton move in, change cameras slightly there, but Tikkanen and Curry, you'll see Curry here, and this is Tikkanen right here. Now Tikkanen will play the body against the boards, and Curry will step in behind and pick up the loose puck. And as we roll this through, good forechecking by the Edmonton Oilers, who are now getting their skating legs in that first period, and the Bruins have got to stay close to them in the early stages of the second period, or this game is going to be history. Now, the first goal of the game came on a very loose play by the Bruins, basically from their blue line into their own end. This is Greg, the defenseman for the Edmonton Oilers, going to make the pass across here. The Oilers are on the power play. As we roll this through, you're going to watch the Edmonton forwards filter in behind the forechecking of the Bruins right here behind Randy Burge and Bob Sweeney. And here's the play, though. Right here, it hit the referee, took a little bounce across here, and Don Sweeney was unable to contain Simpson right here. That's the key to this whole play. And as we roll this through, you're going to watch Simpson elude the check by Sweeney and pace a circling pass into Anderson, made the good play to the backhand and around Andy Moog and into the goal. And we're going to show you 2 no-nos right here. Here's Simpson making a very quick pass to Anderson. As he rolls it over onto the left wing side, Galley is the only defender back. Now right here, Galley is playing this nicely, as is Andy Moog right here. He's moving over into this direction. Galley's got his eye on the shooter. But as we roll this through, watch Galley now. He stays away from the puck carrier. There is a moment of truth when a defenseman has to go to the forward. Galley, shoulder right there, should have stayed here. He should have moved over here to help out Andy Moog. And Moog went a little too far right here because he let his skate slide a little bit in this direction. And Anderson cut back, and if Galley had been quick enough to fill in this hole, he might have been able to stop Anderson. We roll this through. Anderson picks up an easy goal, and it's 1-0 Edmonton. And there were 2 sort of simultaneously little small errors by the Bruins. Galley on one hand, and Moog overshooting the net, which he does not do very often, to allow that extra space for Anderson to just pop it in with that beautiful backhand move. That was a good scorer's move by Anderson.
Down 2 goals, John, the key to get back into this thing for Boston, you think?
Well, they cannot open up, Gene. They've got to contain that Edmonton speed, which is showing evidence now of the good forechecking and sending 2 men in. They've got their skating legs now, and the forwards especially. And if you start sending 2 men in deep, that forward defenseman's going to pass it back behind into center ice, behind the 3 Bruin forwards, and boy, that is going to be bad news.
Disastrous.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
John, thank you very much. Good points as always, and we'll see you again during our second intermission. Right now, we are set for the second period of play, so let's return to Edmonton with Fred and Derek.
It is the Oilers 2, the Bruins nothing, and shorthanded. Greg Hogwood has 52 seconds left on his penalty starting the second period. Oilers with 12 shots, pretty good indication of how they mounted an attack on Andy Moog, and now that is 2 periods in a row. To get the power plays, they did score in a power play goal, but even at even strength, they've had some glittering opportunities.
They are a very fast skating hockey club. And give the Oilers credit. They opened it up in the 3rd period of the 3rd game. They came out hungry. Andy Moog and the Bruins weathered the storm. But that seems to have carried over. They want a wide open style of game. And I agree with John Pearson. You must contain them somehow. Keep skating, but containment is essential.
Glenn Anderson had a goal in the first game and didn't do much otherwise, but here he is exploding for 2. And it is 2-0 for the Oilers. Messier out there with Simpson and with Anderson. Back for it goes Smith. He's on defense with Ruotsalainen. Carpenter deep forechecking, and away comes Anderson. Ruotsalainen. Cleared in. Around the boards, Messier. Wesley. Jammed in deep. Bounces to Carpenter. Carpenter breaking it out with Carter. Carter to center ice, killing some time, now clearing it. 25 seconds left on the Edmonton power play. They're second of the game. An errant pass picked off by Bork, fired right back in. Janney coming out now with Neely, Don Sweeney, and Ray Bork for Boston. 10 seconds on the power play. And over the line comes Anderson. Shovels it in front. It deflects away outside the line. Taken over by Randy Gregg. And Boston back at full strength. Over the line comes Messier. Messier cross. Score! Simpson. Simpson from Messier as the power play was up. And the Oilers lead it 3-0.
Mark Messier certainly doesn't seem to be hurt on that play. Great pass by Messier. The key is no one picked up Craig Simpson. Comes down the right side of the left side of the building. There's Anderson to Messier. Forward one-timer. A great play by Craig Simpson. A quick pass, a hard pass. One-timed it. Don Sweeney at his mercy, really.
Well, the Oilers can be explosive. They have, among 2 lines, a ton of scoring potential. And Simpson, who was acquired in that coffee trade from Pittsburgh, makes it 3-0. That came as the power play was up. Propp clears it out, and back for it, Huddy. Bruins forechecking. Curry hit by Propp. Puck to Neely. Quick shot. Missed the net. Short side. Galley keeps it in. Now behind the net, trying to set up a play with Janney. Block. Rolls for Neely. Neely holding. Puts it in front. Tip. And Ranford, a big save on a deflection there by Janney. Bruins battling deep. Janney trying to move it back. Keegan able to clear it out. Good pressure by Boston. And a big stop along the way by a scrambling goaltender, Ranford. Tikkanen fires it in deep. Lamb is intercepted. Out comes Neely. Neely, center ice. 2 men converge on him, and Muni got a piece of him. And Curry comes back. Curry offside. Put himself offside on that play. And it is Oilers 3, Bruins nothing. We'll return in a moment.
The Infinity Q45. First your hand turns the wheel, then the wheel turns the shaft, which turns the pinion, which turns the rack, which turns a serious luxury sedan into a sports car on a joyride. There. So much for that little fork in the road.
The following is a Mass Millions alert. This week's estimated Mass Millions jackpot is worth $15 million. But don't panic. You have until 7:45 Friday night to play your number.
Play on. Hoggard with it. Bice trying to make the play. And it is offside.
Good redirect there by Brickley to Bice. Bice was cutting in. Himself offside.
In the first period, Anderson from Simpson and Lamb a power play. Then Anderson from Messier and Simpson. Then with that second power play up, but 1 minute into the second period, Simpson from Messier and Anderson. Mike Milbury looking on for the Bruins. And John Muckler's got tremendous mileage from this third line. Graves, Jelena, Murphy. And that creates continuing pressure by the Edmonton Oilers, who have been flying tonight. Wesley trying to come out. He's stopped low. Clears it but into the stands. And the face-off called outside the line.
Bruins waiting for someone to beat their man, hope the puck will bounce to him. You start looking for breakaway hockey and you stop skating, Edmonton will kill you. You've got to continue to skate and stay with your man. The Bruins twice have missed the open man, opted to pick the wrong player, and Edmonton found him.
Bice is out there. Brickley on the left. On the right wing, it's Johnston. And the Bruins break it. Hoggett into center ice. Up on the left for Brickley. Brickley over the line. In front looking for Bice. It is broken up, and Jelena is back. Flying with Murphy. Jelena goes deep. Cuts in front. Save, Andy Moog. Oh, Jelena was able to cut in on that one for a backhander. He has been flying. Kept in now by Jelena. He can't center it. Kept in at the point. Behind the net, taken by Hoggett, though. Hoggett rushes out. 4 men back, including Klima. And Graves blocked a shot. Trying to move in is Johnston. And, boy, that's the Berlin Wall there. Here comes Klima back over the line. Broken up by John Carter. A lead now. Down deep, handled by... That was Don Sweeney breaking it up, trying to set up Carter. Pass in front. A quick flip there by Carpenter and a save by Ranford, and he hangs on. Oilers lead it 3-0 back in a moment.
I'd like to call your attention to the area which clearly shows an upward trend. This is where it gets really exciting.
Do you know that there is an 82% higher attention span in meetings that have color graphics? Now, using a Minolta Simulcolor copier, you can turn this into this. With Minolta Simulcolor, you can make sure your good ideas get noticed.
And we're all just tickled pink about it.
As for these guys, we'll let them sleep on it.
And the face-off coming up now to the right of Bill Ranford. McTavish and Carpenter on the draw. Carpenter has Carter and Burridge on the wings with Don Sweeney and Ray Bork. Boston just one shot in this second period. And the Oilers with one, but it was a goal by Simpson. Bruins battling on the boards, but it goes behind the net to Smith. Ruotsalainen up on the corner. Bookberger clears it out. Bork starting back. Don Sweeney forced back by Klima. Burridge back to dig it out. A lead for Carter too far. Smith knocks it away. Now Carter again. Snaps it in. Smith there, 2-4 checkers, but he gets it safely around for McTavish. Broken up by Carter. Smith on it again. Now safely to Ruotsalainen. Ruotsalainen coming off the corner. Gives it to Smith. Out to Klima. Down to the Boston end. Maybe icing anyway. It is. Just over the goal line. Touched by Alan Peterson. Out of face-off now in the Edmonton Oilers zone as we look at Ted Sater on the left, Mike Milbury on the right behind the Boston bench. A 3-0 lead for the Oilers. Their number one line paying off in this game tonight. 2 by Anderson, 1 a power play, and the other by Simpson.
What they're doing, the Oilers are finishing their checks very well. They're not letting that second and third Bruin get back into the play. Bordering on interference, but it's allowed. You got to take the body when you have the opportunity. The Bruins going to have to come up with a valiant second effort to get loose.
And the draw back along the line. Bork to Peterson. Peterson flipped it in. Neely can't get it though, and Messier starts it away. Messier is hit. A good hip check there by Wesley, but Simpson breaks, rolls it in, wide of Moog. Moog trying to move it up and out, can't do it. Messier at the point, kept it in for Huddy. Huddy's shot is blocked by Neely, goes to center ice. 5 minutes into the second period, a 3-0 lead for the Oilers. Over the Boston line, Huddy trying to move for it, and Simpson broken up. But the Bruins can't set a play at center ice, and Anderson fires it back on Moog. They give him a mock cheer, and here comes Neely on a lead over the line with a threat for Gianni. Back to Neely, shot, save Ranford. Cam Neely with the chance, and Ranford with the save as Neely fired a quick wrist shot from about 20 feet.
Great hustle by Neely from the other end of the building, and this is the result. Gets across, lays it over the blue line. Right here's the quick shot, tries 5-hole. Ranford very adept at that. Gives it to you, looks so tempting as a shooter. Next thing you know, when you go to shoot it, he takes it away. See if you can pick up Ranford. Open legs right there. Neely goes for it. Thank you. Take it away. Bill Ranford just playing superb goal.
And no rebound. Not that a Bruin was there, but there wasn't any rebound.
Not only stopping it, smothering everything.
Face off now to the left of Bill Ranford. John Bice is out there on the draw. Mark Lamb for Edmonton. Bourque and Wesley. And John Muckler indeed has abandoned that Tikkanen on Gianni pit. Tikkanen is looking for some goals. He's out there with Curry and Lamb. That has been a regular line, and a potent one too. Out the third line has added a big dimension tonight. Graves, Murphy, Jelena. Brickley on the faceoff, but it is won by Lamb. Boston tries deep forechecking with Doris moving in, but Lamb now checked in deep by Bourque. Behind the net, Doris digs it free. Brickley trying to set a play. Check. Rolls it behind the net, but Lowe is there. Lowe around the boards, blocked by Brickley. Brickley can't center it. Fought for it, kept in by Doris, by Bourque, now knocked outside the line. And breaking with it, Tikkanen. Or rather, Lamb. Lamb drops it in. Tikkanen moves in deep. Behind the net, Wesley digs it out. Wesley starts back. Lamb was spilled. The fans yell. Bruins break. Bourque over the line. Bourque on Low. Puts it in front. Blocked. Oilers break. Here comes Curry trying to outskate Wesley. He is checked and stopped by Bourque, who got back to help out. Almost a breakaway, but Wesley foiled it. Tikkanen comes back. His shot knocked wide. Wesley takes him down and is going out. Wesley for hooking. Power play for Edmonton. Oilers 3, Bruins nothing. Back in a moment.
Well, Glenn Wesley gets the gate for hooking. Tikkanen come up with a very good chance. Got a good shot on Moog. Big right leg save here. Puck comes out of the corner right to Tikkanen. There's the shot and the save. Wesley goes a little high. Catches the sweater. Down he goes.
It is the third Edmonton power play. They scored in their first power play, and their third goal came just 8 seconds after the Bruins killed off the power play, but really still in effect. Smith a shot blocked in front and cleared by Peterson. 13:30 left in period number 2. Oilers lead 3-0. 2 goals by Anderson, 1 by Simpson. 2 assists by Messier. Over the line comes Simpson, bearing in, holding, and the play broken up by Alan Peterson, who sprawled, kept in now by Messier. This line really on fire. Rutzelin and a shot deflected wide. Messier, tough angle shot, knocked away by Moog. Boy, that stung. Tough angle, but he put it on net. And the Boston zone, Galley breaks it up and clears it out. Oilers looking for the kill, leading 3-0. Power play. Smith over the line. Smith goes deep, puts it in front, missed, and the Bruins break it out. Into center ice, Bob Sweeney, John Carter. They rush, they attack, and Carter can't put it on net. He's forced wide. 58 seconds left on the power play. Messier broken up by Sweeney, and the puck bounces to Simpson for Anderson. Poked wide by Moog, kept in by Messier. Back to the left point to Huddy, over to Gregg. Pass in, blocked. Bruins may get a breakout here, and they do. Bob Sweeney with Burridge over the line. Bob Sweeney moving, holding. Trying to set a play now with Don Sweeney. Off for Bork, shot, save Ranford. Short-handed bid by the Bruins on a good one. Bork with the shot. Tikkanen coming out. Tikkanen slowed down by Bork. Fires it in deep. Don Sweeney gets it to Neely, and Neely clears. 20 seconds left on the Edmonton power play. Big opportunity. Bork short-handed as the Bruins really pressed. Into center ice line. Ruotsalainen over the line. Holding. Puts it in front. Blocked by Bork. And the Bruins break it out. Janney coming in the center ice. Still short-handed. Janney broken up by Ruotsalainen. And now Boston back at full strength. Wesley is out. Forced back on the play. Neely hooks down the man. No call.
Well, Bruins
Curry sent down on the play. Oilers 3, Bruins nothing. Second period at the Northlands Coliseum.
I told Bradley's I'd do commercials for them for 2 reasons. 1, they're pretty good guys. 2, they know how to save us money. I checked it out. You know what I mean?
From Gillette, check the low prices on Track 2, Atra, or the new Sensor, the latest in shaving technology. Stock up on Oral-B toothbrushes, Ultra and Regular, the brand more dentists use. And new Degree deodorant and antiperspirant with body heat activated formula.
Okay, low prices, great values, and Bradley's. Now that's what I call a hat trick.
There are the shots on goal, 17-9. Bruins definitely got to mount more of an attack than that.
The shots in the second period, 5-2 for the Oilers. But they've had 3 minutes of power play chances. 11:26 left here in the second period. Janney is out. Propp and Neely on the wings. Galley and Wesley. Lamb and Janney on the draw. Neely back to Wesley. Wesley rolls it in deep. Galley keeps it in behind the net. Swings it in front. And Propp couldn't get a handle to it. Galley keeps it in again. Forcing the play. Low checking it. Bruins battle on the boards. Lamb is there. Puck is finally cleared out by Tikkanen. All the way to the Boston end. Wesley, Tikkanen going for it. No icing. Lamb takes a hard hit from Galley. Janney digs it free. Can't clear it out. Huddy presses in. A shot. Save Moog. Long rebound. Propp in the center ice to Janney. Janney can't set up Neely, trailing the play. Neely forechecks though. Propp follows up, but Gregg is able to knock it out. Peterson. Galley controlling. Can't set a play. Graves breaks it up. Rolls to the Boston corner. Jelena. Onside. Behind the net. Fights for it. Works it to the corner. Works it again in front for a one-hander and a save by Moog. Jelena. Hit deep. Now Graves with it. This line's put a ton of pressure on the Bruins. Bruins trying to fend them off now. Curry is on. Curry wheeling in the zone. Moves way back near the line. His pass up is stopped. And Peterson moves it to center ice. Back comes Janney. Over the line. Drops it. Picked up by Bork. Bork moving for a backhander and a save by Ranford. As Bork gets his second scoring bid set up by Janney. And the Oilers continue the play. Back comes Huddy. Can't get it. Cleared away. All the way down wide of Ranford. 3-0 the Oilers. More than halfway through. In deep. Hoggard. Checked by Graves. Boston trying to move it in front. Johnston behind the net battling. Bites. Back up. Looking to get it free. No whistle. Finally a whistle. And a face-off call. Edmonton 3, Boston nothing. 9:22 left in the second period.
important message of this commercial is that no one offers you more fresh meat, fish, and vegetables that are great on the grill than Stop and Shop. The rest of this commercial is just pure sizzle.
Well, the National Hockey League General Managers meeting going on here in Edmonton, simultaneously with the Stanley Cup Finals. Get all the bosses in one place. Ted Sater figuring out something, hopefully.
Face-off now, McTavish against Brickley. For Smith, for Ruotsalainen. Bruins forecheck. Battle to keep it in on the boards. Johnston. Centering pass by Brickley was knocked away, and Klima gets it out. Now to McTavish. McTavish works it over the line with Buchberger. The shot is blocked. Fourth line being used by Edmonton. Bork tried to break, stopped. Moog is able to cover it, gets it around to Brickley. Johnston now. Trying to come out, but the Oilers check the play. Hoggett is at left wing. Played it back to Bork. Bork gets away from Buchberger. Up for Johnston, but he has to wind up with it. This is the fourth line checking well for Edmonton with 8:37 left here in the second period. 3-0 the Oilers. Anderson with 2 scores, Simpson the other. At center ice, at the line, Ray Bork. A lead pass, but Boston changing up, so Muni's able to get it. Carpenter forechecking, safely to Lowe. The clear out, and this will be icing against the Oilers as Lowe fired it down. And a look at the general managers, or some of them here. Face-off coming up now to the left of Bill Ranford.
Lou Lamoriello on the left. Floyd Smith immediately to his right. Their team's not successful. Didn't get here. There's Cliff Fletcher, Eddie Johnston.
And back to the game. Face-off, Carpenter gets it. Galley moves in deep into the corner. Behind the net, still going, swings it in front of the corner block. Here's a shot and a save on Burridge. Couldn't have a better setup. And boy, he hit Ranford right in the middle with that one. And Burridge had the chance after the Galley rush in deep and around the corner behind the net. Messier starts it out. Bruins up to 13 shots now, 6 in this period. In the center ice, they can't move over the line. Carpenter can't get control. It bounces now for Christian. His shot blocked by Lowe, goes wide. Bruins battle to keep it in. Burridge, Lowe, and a penalty on Edmonton. Tripped on the play in deep was Galley, and a power play for Boston, their second of the game. Oilers lead it 3-0. We'll be back in a moment.
He doesn't wear loud ties. He doesn't tell dumb jokes. He won't bully you, or hurry you, or hustle you. He doesn't have to, because he sells Fords. And now, he has hundreds of Ford probes for under $11,700, loaded with air, stereo cassette, and much, much more. Your New England Ford dealer. He sells more cars and trucks than any other dealer, so he doesn't have to act like any other dealer.
Craig Simpson, one of the flying Edmonton forwards, got called for tripping. Coming out of the corner. This is one of the few times the Bruins have pinched to the defense. There's the takeout. Kick the legs out from under you. Bruins are having some success pinching the defense. At this point, do that more often. Got to keep that puck in there, sustain something.
Boston's second power play, and the puck goes to Gregg, and he's able to clear it. Hoggett and Bork play the points. Janney, Bice, Neely up front. 7:10 left here in the second period. Weiss firing in. Ranford can't trap it. Around the boards, Bork keeps it in. At the line over to Hoggood. Hoggood all the way across. Moving for it. And a quick shot by Janney went wide. Indeed, for Janney behind the net. And pass in front. Blocked. Janney on it again. Now to Weiss. Weiss tried to set Hoggood, but Hoggood had pinched in, was halfway toward the net. And this one goes outside. 1:15 left. Back now comes Weiss. Now to Janney. Over the line. Broken up. And cleared away by Mark Messier.
Edmonton standing up very well in the penalty killing. Their defense is not giving away the blue line at all.
Bork to Neely. Off wing side. Neely drills it in. Burridge is on now. Burridge fights for it on the boards. Low there. 3 Bruins. And it is picked off by Huddy and cleared. Now the Bruins back again. Janney over the line. Offside. His pass intended for Neely at the line. Just
great
went
play
outside.
By Kevin Lowe to stand up, not being intimidated with Janney and Neely.
And the Bruins are offering limited editions of Ray Bork, Cam Neely, and Andy Moog T-shirts and sweatshirts. 100% cotton T-shirts cost $14.95. Heavyweight sweatshirts are $24. Order now by calling 1-800-344-PLAY. All orders will be shipped within 2 weeks. Face-off is outside the Boston line. Yesterday, the off day, Derek Sanderson golf tournament, 7 players. And the final hole, winning it with a birdie, a chip in 40 yards away, Bob Lobel of Channel 4, when Derek Sanderson, who had collected the money, was going to win. He stood there like Greg Norman and looked at it, and Lobel chipped in. What a finish.
Great finish. Great shot.
Should have had a camera on that one. Tikkanen clears, and we have 29 seconds left on the Boston power play. 5:48 left in the period. Brickley over the line. Check. Broken up. Lowe clears it out. Bruins without a shot in this power play. Ranford trying to clear it. Kept in by Wesley. Wesley trying to cut in. Moves it in front. Muni standing there. Clears it away. And that'll do it on the second Boston power play. Bork a long shot as the Bruins change up. And Ranford drills it out. Racing for it. Messier can't get it. Knocked away by Hoggood. Batted around at the line. Johnston starts it back. Johnston coming over the line. Crisscrossing. Fires. A save by Ranford.
See where he is, standing well outside the crease. Stand up.
No rebounds. It is 3-0 Oilers, second period, at the Northlands Coliseum.
Every evening, we pack over 700,000 passengers onto our planes. No drinks are served, no meals are prepared, yet our customers love our service, like our UPS Next Day Air Letter. Guaranteed overnight delivery to any address coast to coast. And at just $9, far less than other companies charge. Set takeoff thrust. No one seems to mind that there's no in-flight movie.
Now the Bruins have got the shots. They moved the shot clock up somewhat. And everyone back in Boston, see what your colors are. You got to wear gold or white or black. Next home game. See if we can get something started there.
Bruins press in, trying to keep it in, and they do. Trapp, though, lost it. Ruotsalainen clears it out. Oilers just thinking defense and doing a good job of it. And a break here. Over the line comes Propp, breaking in alone. Shot, the save, Ranford. Propp broke in alone, and Ranford with the stop. Boston with 8 shots here. And a steal now by Simpson. He's over the line as he took it away from Hoggood. Goes behind the net. Is able to swing it back in front. Broken up, but Craig, a shot just missed. Came off the backboards into the back of the net, and the faceoff will be outside the line. And Simpson almost had a breakaway, but Propp had a big chance, and Ranford a bigger save.
Al, give credit where credit's due. That man right there is just playing phenomenal goal. He's on top of his crease, alert, moving well. Right here, a bit of a bouncing puck. Brian Propp catches up to the end. He wants low on a stick side. Ranford gets it with a stick. not the leg. Hits the stick prior to moving the leg. That's the way it's going. But see, he doesn't get to see much net behind Ranford. When a goaltender plays the angles as well as he's playing, you have to pull up to one side or the other, get him moving, and back through the legs. Ranford's just playing superb.
4:23 left here in the second period. Face-off outside the Boston line. Graves, Murphy, Jelena. Gregg clears it. Back is Galley. Trying to move it out. Bounces to the Edmonton line. The Bruins press. Murphy able to flip it over to Jelena, who's been quite a show in this game, along with Murphy, but they haven't scored. Done everything but scored. Jelena to Murphy. The shot is blocked quickly by Don Sweeney. But they press in the Boston end, keeping sustained pressure on Boston. Bruins can't clear it. Graves keeps it in. Huddy, check. Bruins break it out. Prop coming now. Prop off for Galley. Galley over the line. Holding. Flipping for Neely. Doesn't get it. Loose puck picked off by Graves. Graves out with Jelena. At the line, Galley checking the play. It rolls in on Moog for a save. Now it's taken by Wesley. Up on the left for John Carter. A lead too far for Neely. Banged away by Lowe. 3:18 left here in the second period. 3-0 the Oilers. 2 goals by Anderson, 1 by Simpson. That line is accounted for all the goals. 1 a power play. Back a lead for Carter from Wesley. Carter over the line, stops, cuts on the boards, gives it back for Gianni. Gianni's shot never got through, and Curry is out. Play broken up by Bork. Ray Bork starts it out. In the center ice. Carter can't move with it. A lead too far ahead of Tikkanen. He goes into the corner. Loses to Wesley, though. Wesley to Gianni. Gianni trying to come out. Lost control. And Curry is back for Tikkanen. Back for Curry. The shot misfired. Second shot right on. Save. Centering pass. Back for Smith. Smith bangs it in deep. Tikkanen broken up. Neely trying to clear it. Pinching in is Ruotsalina. He's broken up. And Neely comes out. Neely cuts to the right wing with Gianni. Trying to go straight through. The puck does. Picked off by Ranford. And Neely can't get a reach on it after he slid it through the defense. And it's tied up by Ranford. 2:14 left here in period number 2. The Oilers in front, 3-0. Cam Neely, a good individual effort there.
Certainly was. You get into a situation where one player just takes it upon himself right here. Cam's got to come through. He tries to pull people off. Gianni lost the puck just at the end. Curry hovering, waiting to pick up Gianni. Good effort.
And the face-off now to the right of Ranford. 21 total shots for Edmonton. That gives them 9 in the second period. And for the Bruins, they have 9. Back to Hoggood. Screen shot. Grabbed by Ranford. And he drops it off to Messier. Around the boards, it is kept in by Burridge. Burridge looking for Christian. Christian checked by Huddy. Huddy dives for the puck, and you get away with that all night long, or every game. Any defenseman, the Bruins or Oilers, puck is there, dive for it and grab it.
Well, it used to be called, but...
Used to be delay a game.
Delay a game, which made things awful tough on an isolated defenseman, especially with 2 guys on them. So now they're just opting, all right, good, kill the play, go to the draw. Everybody in the league does it.
Christian on the faceoff with Bice and Burridge on the wings. Hoggood and Peterson. 1:58 left. Second period. Around the boards, Messier able to clear it out. Christian winding up. Hoggood can't set up Burridge. Steal now by Christian. He's over the line. Fires. Save Ranford. And he hangs on. And
oh, is he hot?
No rebound.
That was a deflected shot he picked up. So
Dave Christian firing that one. 1:42 left. The faceoff to the right of Ranford. And you can't say Boston has not had their chances in this period. They're getting through. In the first period, many of the good ones were blocked, never reaching Ranford.
I don't know. That certainly was the case in the first period. Edmonton playing sound defensively. Now they've opened it up a little bit. They seem to be curling, looking for another goal. Anderson and Messier having a lot of fun out there.
Raymond Bourque, number 77, has Carpenter and McTavish on the faceoff.
Bourque had a great opportunity in the backhand. Ranford once again came up big.
The draw one for Huddy. In pursuit, Trout. Tikkanen can't clear it out. Galley kept it in, and now it is knocked away by McTavish. Bruins fire it. Try to move right in and quickly on Huddy. Huddy has time. Pass it off on the left, and McTavish works it out. He's on with Tikkanen. And the play broken up at the Boston line, and the poke check, and back comes Carpenter. Carpenter over the line for Don Sweeney. Don Sweeney to Johnston. Can't get the shot out. Bruins center it. His proper backhander, and he missed the net. He was alone, 15 feet out. Bourque, a screen shot, blocked. Second shot, bounces in front, and finally cleared away by Muni. Bruins doing everything but score, and here's McTavish back with Curry. Curry over the line. Whirling. Gets it across for Tikkanen. The shot scores! Unbelievable goal there on a perfectly harmless-looking play. Tikkanen from Curry to make it 4-0 after the Bruins did everything but score at the other end.
A great effort by the Bruins all over the Oilers, as so often happens in this game. Comes down the far end of the building. There's just a desperate pass across. Threads it through two Bruins. Breaks off a Moog's glove. Goes in the net. That can break your back. Watch the there's a play by Curry. Janney a little late picking it up.
Tikkanen from Curry in the final minute of the second period. A second period where the Bruins have had the edge in play. No scoring, and the Oilers score early and late again for a 4-0 lead. Tikkanen from Curry on that one. And Wesley starts it out with Carter and Neely. Carter deep, stops, cuts, puts it in front. Neely is taken down on the play, couldn't get it. And a penalty being called by Koharski. Let's see,
Glenn Wesley was hauled down. He missed the play on Neely, but Cam might have lost his balance breaking to the net.
10 seconds left. Anderson goes out. Power play for Boston. They'll have a power play starting the third period. Edmonton leading 4-0 on the Tikkanen goal.
Right there's the trip on Wesley. A little bit of a dump as well.
Boy, Edmonton not working too hard in this period after a 3-0 lead, kind of standing around. Let's see, Ranford, let me see you put on a show. He does.
Ranford did, thank you very much.
And they come back at the other end, and Andy Moog would like to have that one back. Broke off his glove, the shot by Tikkanen.
It was a tough angle to tell whether it was on the net or not.
Tikkanen from Curry and McTavish at 19:15, and a 4-0 lead for the Edmonton Oilers. Deja vu, game number 2, when the Oilers broke it open with 4 straight goals. Here they lead 4-0, 10 seconds left in the period. Get the draw, Smith the clear, and that will do it in the period.
They certainly have the work cut out for them in the third period.
And that's it. After 2 periods of play, Edmonton 2 goals in each period, and the score at the end of 2 periods of play. The Oilers 4, the Bruins nothing. Now to Gene Levanchi for tonight's second intermission.
All right, Fred, thank you very much. Coming up in just a moment, John Pearson will break down tonight's second period, and we'll send you back to Edmonton, where Fred and Derek will offer their commentary on what we've seen so far in tonight's Game 4. So stay with us as Boston Bruins Stanley Cup Hockey on TV 38 continues.
Now everyone ones getting in on the action of Game Boy. You get portable excitement, stereo action. Play dozens of games like the mind-boggling Tetris, tennis, and golf. And Video Link lets you challenge a friend. It's like child's play for grown-ups. Game Boy from Nintendo. Now you're playing with power. Portable power.
AT&T has just created a whole new way to look at the credit card. Introducing the AT&T Universal Card. One world, one card. For the price of membership, some credit cards protect most retail purchases. So does the AT&T Universal Card, and membership is free. One world, one card.
With a belt or without a belt? Sons of belt slacks. Fashion that feels great.
Very fine. Great tasting fruit juices and drinks.
At Ford, we've applied the energy of our worldwide resources to completely change the way we make small cars. Our goal, to bring you a new car that is as trouble-free as possible. The result is the new Ford Escort, designed and built to rival the best small cars in the world. Introducing the next Ford Escort. A new line of thought, a new line of cars.
Have you driven a Ford lately?
The Edmonton Oilers were 2 in the first period, 2 more in the second. They have a 4-0 lead after 2 periods of play in Game 4 at the Northlands Coliseum. Right now, we return you to the Northlands Coliseum, where Fred Cusick and Derek Sanderson are standing by for more on tonight's Game 4. Fred and Derek?
Thank you, Gene. 4-0 for the Edmonton Oilers, and they deserve it, but they've got some solid goaltending from Bill Ranford, too, and that has made somewhat of a difference in this game, and a big goal by Tikkanen in the final minute there. But they're able to pour 3 lines that can really attack, and they're getting a bonus from Jelena, Murphy, and from Graves. I tell you, Jelena and Murphy have been tough to stop.
Jelena's having a superb hockey game. I think a lot of it is coming the Edmonton speed. The Bruins kind of standing around, trying to pick the man up before he gets the puck. Unfortunately, the Edmonton Oilers working the puck very well. They're finding the open man. With that success, it's just very difficult to stop. You must get on the puck handler. Somebody's got to force him to make a play. If you don't, that guy can make that play all night. This is the National Hockey League. Best players in the world here. They'll find the open man if you just give him any breath of a chance.
Boston Bruins certainly had their opportunities. You look at Prop breaking in alone there. Head down, though, but Ranford head up, and he made the stop.
Well, Brian Prop got in a couple of times. Bork was in. Burridge had his chances. Neely won. Got to bury it, Fred. There's nothing you can, you can sit back and analyze it all you want, but when you get in there, you got to get by that goalkeeper. Ranford is just a stone wall at this point, playing extremely well, and then it becomes a very frustrating thing for the Bruins. You got to try to get too fine with your shots. You try to put too much power, too much weight behind it. You want to really shoot the puck. And it's given Ranford that chance to set up. He sees you wind up. He moves out a little bit farther, takes the angle away. You have a minimum amount of net to hit, and then he can react to it and reflex to it and kill it.
And certainly no rebounds.
No rebounds. He's doing an excellent job of that as well. I mean, you can go, and analyze the Bruins not skating at certain points now. I'm not saying during the first 40 minutes all the time. It's just on certain given situation, a bouncing puck. The Bruins a little tentative, hesitating, and that bouncing puck is going to an Oiler who's got time to make the play.
The Bruins don't give up in the playoffs. Didn't against Hartford. Crucial game. They're down 4-0. Don't discount them, but what an uphill climb this is.
Major League Mount Everest. 4-0. The Edmonton Oilers, you got to look at them, a total collapse to give up 5 goals. The series, however, is not over. It's just that the Bruins have got to mount something here. This power play is essential they score a goal on it. and to go from there. Edmonton has gotten away from their game plan somewhat. If you can start picking on a few mistakes, maybe you can capitalize.
Well, that's right. The Bruins power play has been very ineffective, but credit Edmonton with excellent defensive work on the shorthanded situation. John Pearson, Gene Levanchi back after we pause for these messages.
How do you get real premium beer taste in a non-alcoholic brew? You start with a real premium beer. That's how Anheuser-Busch makes new O'Doul's. O'Doul's is carefully brewed, fully fermented, and cold-aged. Then the alcohol is naturally removed, retaining all the great taste. So how do you get real premium beer taste in a non-alcoholic brew? Ask for an ice-cold O'Doul's. O'Doul's, the taste will win you over.
I told Bradley's I'd do commercials for them for two reasons. One, they're pretty good guys. Two, they know how to save us money. I checked it out. You know what I mean?
Stock up now on Advil, the advanced medicine for pain, just $6.49. And Dial deodorant, spray, roll-on, or solid, 2 for $3. Check out our low prices on Slim Fast products, the natural way to lose weight fast. And Dexatrim, the weight loss products pharmacists recommend most.
Low prices, great values, and Bradley's. Now that's what I call a hat trick.
Your Mitsubishi Motors dealer is bursting with ways to help save you money on all our award-winning cars and trucks. During our inventive incentive deal days, the savings keep getting higher and higher. You could save up to $1,000 on a truck or up to $2,000 on Montero by combining tax-free dealer incentives and a special value package of popular options. So come in now while the savings are in the air.
Inventive incentives at your New England Mitsubishi Motors dealer now.
2 years ago, I wouldn't come in here. The framing stock was terrible. It was #2s. Now they got, good quality. They're getting all kinds of good lumber now.
Grossman's now handling Colo products. They carry a top line of everything. I mean, that's what I do for a living, remodeling.
Now they have a tremendous display of windows.
The price that Grossman sells boxes for and switches, you can't get a better price at his supply house.
It seems like recently they've doubled everything.
My baby loves to be treated special.
Nothing's too good for my baby. Nothing but Ultra. Nothing but Ultra.
Treat your baby to the power and performance of Sunoco Ultra 94.
Fill it up. Ultra.
At 94 octane, it's the highest under the sun. Sunoco Ultra 94.
Nothing's too good for my baby.
Craig Simpson a goal in the first minute, Esa Tikkanen a goal in the final minute. The Oilers doubling up the Bruins in the second period. It's 4-0 after 2. Stay tuned for John Pearson.
Lots of men have heard about minoxidil. And lots of men have heard about Rogaine. But lots of men don't know that only Rogaine has minoxidil. And only your doctor can prescribe Rogaine. For more information, call this number now.
If you're wondering whether Rogaine is for you, call this number, and we'll give you an incentive to find out. A certificate worth $10 toward a consultation visit with your doctor. Call 1-800-556-4800.
All you lovers of McDonald's salad, get ready for some tasty news. Now there's something special for a limited time that we've tossed on just for you. Shrimp! Catch all the shrimp in McDonald's shrimp salad. It's a shrimp lover's honeymoon. Yeah, all the shrimp in our fresh tossed salad will fill up your afternoon. This cool crustacean could sweep the nation. So dive in, Joe, cause by now you know McDonald's shrimp salad, all dressed up and ready to go.
I could never let the numbers game interfere with my personal life.
Yes, I was late for our lunch date because I played the numbers game for the 12th time. I'm sorry.
I'm not one to push an issue.
Push is Marcy's middle name. She once mowed down 15 people to get a blouse that was on sale. I was one of them.
But no one number ever impressed me that much.
Miss Page, tomorrow's meeting starts at 12:15.
12:15 is fine. 12:15?
Tonight's winning number is...
Nah.
Have you played your number today?
Lots of action here at Toyota's Big League Sales event.
Coming onto the field, the Toyota Celica.
Joe, here's this new phenom we've been hearing so much about. This new Celica is really put together.
And right now, you can sign one up for peanuts.
Wonder how it is on the speed gun. It sure has the style of a winner. Wow. At that price, they're going fast.
And with those wheels, I could have played center field.
Right.
See your Toyota dealer now for a great Celica deal at Toyota's Big League event.
It's a whole new ballgame.
I could have, John.
I think so.
A couple of hours ago, Eddie Murphy was behind bars.
There's a new sheriff in town.
Now, he's out on the street with a shiny new badge and Nick Nolte for a partner. And it looks like he's going to be a big hit with the bad guys, not to mention the bad girls. And in 48 hours, you could be a hit, too, when we'll announce the winner of our Hooray for Hollywood trip to Universal Studios. Just watch Wednesday at 8 on TV 38's Movie Loft.
John Pearson with us, and John, we were just talking to producer Andy Sugg about a very basic difference between the Bruins and the Oilers, which has become a glaring difference in the series. The Oilers are finishing off their chances, and the Bruins are not, and that quite simply is the shape of things in this series.
Well, we talked, Gene, a lot about goal scoring, you and I, over the course of the season. It's a talent that's very difficult to teach. You can refine it, but if you're a pure goal scorer, and how do you assess that? It's a very fine line as to players shoot the puck, one scores and the other doesn't. It's the timing, it's reading the play, it's a lot of things. And Simpson, of course, is one of the best. But the Edmonton Oilers probably have more pure goal scorers, guys who can put the puck in the net in 10 different ways than any team in the league, and we're seeing evidence of that. We saw it in the second period in Game 2. We're seeing it here. This is the Oilers at their very best here tonight. They are really motoring. I mean, they've got the jets on and they're skating, and they trap you. And I'm going to show you right here this third goal. It came in the second period, and right here we're going to hold it, though, right here. This is Randy Gregg, right here, the defenseman. Now, you would say on the power play that they should be going this way, but no, not Randy Gregg. He's going to go this way because what he wants to do is he wants to open up this center ice area to his forwards, who we know are skating pretty well. Now, the power play actually is over, but you watch as we roll this. Randy Gregg's looking around. He wants to open up the center ice area. Now, hold it right there. You're going to see these three forwards, these Bruins, right? They're going this way, while the Edmonton forwards are going this way, and Randy Gregg knows that. And, boy, what does he do? He snaps the puck right through the center. We'll roll this through now, and watch them pick this puck up and do tic-tac-toe. Right there now, you'll see right here. This is Ray Bourque, who was going in this direction, suddenly realizes he's got to take Simpson out of the play, who is the eventual goal scorer. But Simpson's a good skater, and he just evades the check by Bourque and starts to accelerate in this direction as number 9 Anderson makes the soft pass to Messier over here. And watch what happens as we roll this through. Here comes Messier. It's a 2-on-1. And who's on the other side but Simpson, who avoided that check by Bourque, put a little acceleration on, and now Messier gives him a nice soft pass into this opening, traps Sweeney, and here's the shot. He steps into it and drives it by the right pad of Andy Mogan. It's 3-0 Oilers very easily. Now we're going to show you this right here. You've got Anderson with the puck right here. You've got the Edmonton Oilers forward swinging, one in this direction and one in this direction. And as we let this roll, you're going to look at 3 Bruin forwards getting trapped. Now, the Edmonton Oilers do this better than any team in the National Hockey League. And here comes Messier. He lays a perfect little soft pass across to Simpson. And look at this guy set up now here on this forward leg. Boy, this guy is a goal scorer. He realizes that Moog is over here. He's going to drive it right into this corner, and before Moog can catch up with it, it's by him as we roll this through, and he snaps it off inside the goalpost. And boy, if that's not a goal scorer's move, I'll eat my shirt. But also, too, here is this Gillineau. Now, he's got some speed as well, and he catches the Bruins in a transition situation because the defenseman is caught up here. body checking, but they've got to concentrate on just running into those guys and slowing them down because that'll be very, very important for all of Game 5.
All right, John Pearson, thank you very much. Interesting stuff. As always, right now for the call of tonight's third period from the Northlands Coliseum, let's return to Fred Cusick and Derek Sanderson.
And the Bruins are on a power play. Anderson has 1:50 left. The Bruins' power play has not been effective. What about the keys?
Well, keys. Okay, we had the first key, hound Edmonton's defense. And when the Bruins have done that, they've come up with flurries that have created some great chances. They didn't score, and scoring is the name of the game. If you don't put the puck in the net, you're not going to win anything. We had to rattle Ranford, and they obviously have not done that. Bill Ranford is very focused. Going to be very tough to beat. Third period. The Teakin and Janney connection hasn't come to pass. I think they just, Fred, you were right. They were going to just let Teakin go play hockey. Craig Janney, at this point, not playing at the top of his game. Dehydrated in the first one. Got to get going.
And Tikkanen is out there now for the face-off with Carpenter.
One of the things, I've been in that dressing room before in the Stanley Cup game, and you're down 4 goals. You just got to believe in yourself and pick up all aspects of the game. Move it up a notch, and you got a second effort to puck all the time. You've got to steal that puck.
Tikkanen out there with Curry as penalty killers. Ray Bourque. Wesley. Up for Carpenter, broken up. Back goes Wesley to start it. Very aggressive, very confident Edmonton team. Janney now tipped it over the line. Tikkanen got a piece of it, but Carpenter gets it, intercepted by Curry. He was trying to hit Wesley with that pass, and here comes Tikkanen over the line from Curry. And a quick shot missed the net by Gregg. Bourque, Wesley to Neely. Neely over the line. Off for Carpenter. Carpenter looking for the right play. On the boards, back to Bourque. Fed back up for Carpenter. He's checked. The play broken up, cleared out by Curry. Ray Bourque. In the center ice now, Janney from Hoggood. Janney over the line for Hoggood. And Hoggood is broken up. Ray Bourque starts at the Boston line. Now to Bob Sweeney, who just came on. Sweeney over the line with Neely. Neely holds it in. Neely all the way across for Janney. Janney back for Bourque. Bourque across for Hoggood. Shot. Tip wide. Bruins got a piece of it. Never hit the net, though. Bob Sweeney is on. Bob Sweeney coming off the corner. Shovels it for Hoggood. Tough angle shot there. Hoggood took a very difficult angle, but Bourque keeps it in. Now to Hoggood. Better angle this time. Across for Janney. Open net. And he couldn't get the wood on it. Janney fell down on the play. That could have been it. But instead, Edmonton kills it off. Lamb's play broken up, rolls back to Hoggood. Winding up now, John Carter over the line. Plenty of speed, goes wide. And Ranford a mile out to block it. Puck loose. Bruins trying to get control. Ranford way out of the net. Checking the play in the corner. Round the boards. Peterson able to keep it in. Can't set up a play, though, with Christian. Rutsalainen. Broken up. Bruins trying to get control in front. Couldn't do it. It popped in the air. And the Oilers able to break it out. Tikkanen rushes. Tikkanen coming on Galley. Fell down. Nobody near him. Just fell down. Center ice. Lamb clears it back in. The Oilers lead 4-0. We're in the opening minutes of period number 3. Christian able to clear it out. Takes a hit from Graves. And now Jelena center ice with Murphy, and they put pressure on. Rolls into Moe. Pokes it in the corner to Peterson. Peterson is hit on the play. Puck bounces in front. Jelena trying to jam it home. Blocked. Jelena with it again. Wheels in front. Jelena still going wide. Put the shot on for a save by Moe. Jelena skating rings around Boston here as Huddy now keeps it in. Gets it off to Murphy. In deep for Graves. Boy, this line has been something, but they haven't scored, thanks to Moog. Here's Graves behind the net, sneaks it in front, blocked by Andy Moog, who gathers it in and finally stops the pressure. And it is Oilers 4, Bruins nothing. We'll return in a moment.
C'est magnifique. Un miracle.
We interrupt this refreshing moment for a message of historic and even prehistoric importance. Perrier is back.
C'est magnifique.
Perrier, Earth's first soft drink, is back.
Graves, Murphy, Jelena.
Well, they call it the kid line. They don't want to call it the fourth line. Just working hard. That's all they're doing. Handling the puck right here. Jelena comes out wide. Circles his man deep. Galley trying to get across. John Weiss picks him up. Big left leg save there by Moog. Puck goes to the corner. Murphy retrieved that one.
Bruins trying to come out. It is Doris. Checked by Lowe. And Muni gets it. Interception, a lead for Burridge. Burridge over the line. Buchberger checks him into the corner. Doris going for it. Doris hit by Lowe behind the net. A battle for it. Pinching in. Bork trying to put it in front. Check. Klima moves it to McTavish. McTavish works it in front of the net and out. A long lead, too far ahead of Klima, all the way to Moog. And there goes Klima into Moog. Well, I tell you, there was a gentle bump by Carpenter on Ranford, and this one, they let go.
Well, what happened was, I think Mandy Moog had left the net at the time. Don Sweeney takes Klima to the crossbar. Klima never had the puck. That could have been interference. Now, Klima's not in the play. Sweeney takes him hard right here. Stick up under the body. Now he shoves him. Moog is out of the net.
Right, no damage to Moog.
No.
Just a little on the net, and it was Don Sweeney who pushed him in there. Moog evacuated. So there wouldn't have been a penalty at all, of course. No way. But you see that heavy collision with the forward moving in on the net, and you think, hey, he's trying to line up the goaltender.
Well, one team has got to start making mistakes. It's the Edmonton Oilers, and at this juncture, they just have not. They have played a very good hockey game, all aspects of it. The Bruins working hard.
Draws back to Huddy. In the Messier, tipped in front, knocked away by Moog. Neely moves it out. Hoggard rushes, picking up Prop. And the Bruins able to keep it in. Neely to Prop. Prop wheeling. Puts it on net. Deflected wide of Ranford, who is knocked down by Hoggard. In front, Prop trying to get it. And checked by Simpson. Shot here. Deflected wide. That was by John Bice. Huddy knocked down. The puck goes to Anderson, who has scored 2 goals. The first 2 of the game. He's over the line. Drops it for Messier. Messier wheels. Gives it to Smith. Shot. Tip. Wide. Went off the stick of Wesley. In the center ice. Boston trying to move. Carpenter comes off the bench. Gets it. Is over the line. Forced wide, and his shot missed the net. 5 minutes here, and here's Carter going at Simpson. Let's see what the call is.
Carter going into check. Simpson just takes a high stick. Don Koharski calling the elbow.
Elbow on Simpson. A power play for Boston. It will be their 4th. Edmonton has had 3 and scored on 1. Edmonton leads 4-0 back in a moment.
I'm on my way. Boise?
When your travel plans suddenly change,
You gotta help me. I checked my case to Boston, now they want me in Boise.
it's good to know Delta's got a team like Compass,
Walt, I need a recheck fast.
to Price,
Drive sample case?
to Morris,
number 4479.
to Elders.
I got it!
Great job, Walt. No problem, Mr. DePrima.
Thanks.
Mr. DePrima, Mr. Michael DePrima, please call your office.
Walt? About that bag.
Craig Simpson. He plays a chippy game, but he can score.
Great hockey player. There's the elbow on Carter. John a little shocked by that. He was thinking go in, get to his man. Simpson just makes a little curl. Carter's stick was a little high. With a 4-0 lead, I don't think they're going to call a matching penalty.
And for Boston, Neely out there, Carpenter at center, Brickley on the other wing, Galley and Bork. 14:56 left here. Third period, 4-0 Edmonton. Anderson 2 goals, Simpson and Tikkanen the others. Galley at the line, able to keep it in away from Tikkanen. The shot, the screen, blocked in front by Muni. Can't clear it out, stopped by Galley. Galley's intercepted. Curry may break away. Curry with Galley coming back. Tikkanen there, and Galley breaks it up. An intended pass for Tikkanen.
Bad mistake by Gary Galley. He guessed the play, then a great recovery.
Bork back to drill it in. Power play Boston. In the corner. Pass for Carpenter, and he missed it. Would have been wide open, or open briefly. Bork starts it back. Bork over the line. In for Neely. Neely in. Save Ranford, and he picks the puck out of the air as it popped in after Neely sent in by Ray Bork. And Bill Ranford, big stop. 1:14 left on the power play.
Well, we certainly are repetitive as far as Ranford's appearance goes. His performance goes. Right here, Neely in cold. He fakes. I didn't think he kind of fans on the first one, gets a second effort at it. Ranford down and out and at his mercy. Well, if things go your way, they go your way. Right there, Bill Ranford just hits him, and he catches it. Dan Neely liked that back.
Face off to the right of Bill Ranford. 14:10 left in the third period. Oilers in front. They've scored early and late in the first and second period. And that's been it. McTavish against Carpenter. One for Huddy. Able to clear it out. Messier racing for it. Mold gets it to Bork. Bork up the middle, but Brickley can't hang on. Cleared right back by Gregg. Bork in the center ice now to Wesley. Wesley fires in. 45 seconds left. Going for it. Neely, right point man. Pass in. Carpenter bumps Ranford, but can't get it. Now in the corner, Carpenter to Brickley. Holding. Back for Bork. Shot high and wide. Brickley trying to put it in front. Block. Brickley again goes to the corner. Now to Bork. Well in. Shot. Blocked. And cleared. Never reached. It was McTavish blocking that one. Never reached Ranford. Wesley winding up. Now with Hoggood. And the penalty just about up. Johnston fires in. Muni back. Puck cleared out of the penalty box comes Simpson. Moog with it behind the net. Drops it off for Hoggood. Hoggood starts it out. Up for Johnston. He is checked at center ice by Lamb, and here comes Tikkanen. Looking for Curry. It's outside the line. Chopped back in by Curry. And Hoggood winding up. A lead for Johnston. Connects. Breaks. Right wing. Over the line. Going deep. Trying to put it in front. It is blocked, and Lamb comes away. In the center ice with Tikkanen. Lamb going deep on Don Sweeney. Stops, cuts. Now clears it. 8 minutes into period number 3. 4-0. Hoggood wanting the line change. Icing it. And it's called. Oilers lead 4-0. Back in a moment.
When you consider that a V6 powered Dodge Daytona ES crushes a Nissan 240SX 0 to 60, comes with a hot new sports interior and a driver's side airbag, all for over $1,300 less, It should be obvious why Dodge comes out on top.
Now get cash back or financing as low as 0% during the Guaranteed Advantage Sell-a-thon.
Tune in to Nesson on Thursday for game number 5, then TV 38. We'll have a post-game highlight show with John Pearson and Gene Levanchi. Also the Red Sox game, special edition of Sox Talk. The 1990 Stanley Cup post-game show Thursday on TV 38.
Well, 12 minutes left in this game. I think the Bruins want to set a tone. They want to try to win this period, definitely.
Smith breaks it up at center ice. Now it's poked in deep. Moog wheels it around for Carter. Carter trying to come out, but Graves checked him, and the pass is stopped by Smith. Weiss is on now. Smith controlling. Gives it off to Murphy. Joe Murphy over the line. The play is offside. And a wave here at the Northlands Coliseum.
That was a good example. The Bruins backing in over the blue line on Murphy instead of standing up. Once you give a centerman Murphy's talent, that ability to curl inside the blue line, all sorts of things begin to happen. Here's another one. Win these draws. You get good wood on that shot off a face-off when it comes back that slow.
Joe Murphy out of London, Ontario, Michigan State, as was Simpson. And they were both #1 draft picks, one by Detroit and one by Pittsburgh. And here they are in Edmonton, prominent. Klima, long shot, saved by Moog. Bork on defense with Hoggood, trying to move it out. Bob Sweeney gets it outside the line, but the Oilers turn, and Bookberger drives it back in. Breaking now, Hoggood trying to go. Klima able to beat him to the puck, not clear it out. Kept in by Bob Sweeney, and he's broken up on a poke check by McTavish. And the Oilers break it. Bookberger to center ice. Clearing in. Almost halfway through the third period. Bruins with only 2 shots in the third period. Hoggood works it to center ice. Clearing in, but Boston is changing up now. Messier barrels into center ice. Long lead for Anderson is offside. Anderson looking for a hat trick as the Oilers lead the Bruins 4-0 in the third period.
Kathy was in labor, and something went really wrong. I remember standing there holding her hand, watching the monitor, and the heartbeat started dropping. My wife was terrified. The heartbeat just kept dropping. All I could do was watch. The doctors at that hospital were so good. They saved our baby's life. That's when you're glad your health plan chooses from the best hospitals. That's when you're glad your health plan's from Blue Cross and Blue Shield.
Glenn Anderson trying to break in then, but offside on the pass from Messier. He has 2 goals. And Simpson and Tikkanen the others. The Clarion Moog is forced to play it away from Anderson. Heavy hit by Simpson in deep, and the Bruins break it out. Prop coming over the line with Galley. Off for Galley. Galley for Prop. The shot weak and knocked away by Ranford. Ranford covers up on this backhander as there's some jousting now in deep with Peter Doris there.
Well, I might have lost my temper before this. Peter Doris, a little cross-checked it. Was it necessary? Peter Doris, the only Bruin in a fight in the Stanley Cup playoffs. But Don Sweeney sees Simpson. Simpson just... 2 of them felt that one. Simpson got a little higher than Donnie.
And the faceoff is called outside the Edmonton blue line. 10:01 left here in the third period. Game number 5 of the series, of course, will be at Boston Garden on Thursday night. We'll
one team has come back from 3-1 deficit in the Stanley Cup final. That was in 1942. Toronto Maple Leafs over Detroit.
John Bice is at center, gets it for Galley. Galley works it in for Duras. A shot. Save Ranford. Rebound is a long one. Kept in by Don Sweeney. The shot misses. And Ranford able to pick it off the backboards. And he's kind of checked closely by the Bruins. Prop moving in. John Bice. Now the face-off call to the left of Ranford, who likes to use that glove. The glove hand, very prominent.
He can catch. He can. That is his strong suit. You try to go upstairs on him with that and don't get to the crossbar, he's going to eat it alive. He plays so well, so far from the net. An angle goaltender likes to stand up. He's certainly standing up better now than he ever did. He's certainly on a roll.
Edmonton 4 shots, Boston 3 in the third period. The total shots are 26-22 for Edmonton, and they have the lead. They had it right from the go on a power play by Anderson. They lead 4-0 with 9:48 left. Controlling the faceoff. Around the boards, Galley trying to keep it in. And with Duras, they can't do it. A 2-on-1 break. Here is McTavish. Pass broken up by Don Sweeney. Bice fell down. Couldn't move with the puck, and Duras starting back. Checked immediately by Murphy. Don Sweeney wraps it in. Boston changes up. Trying to get some attack going here. Carpenter jams with Murphy. They're really jousting, and a shot here is missed by Jelena, as he had a pretty good break-in. With Murphy and Carpenter preoccupied at center ice. Winding up now is Hoggard. Forced to clear it away with Jelena right on top of him. Long pass up by Gregg, broken up by Hoggard, trying to set up Carter, can't do it. Christian trying to break. 2 Oilers right on him, and Lamb takes it away. Lamb to Curry. Curry a flip in. Bruins trying to come out. Hoggard is checked. Tikkanen keeps it in. To Curry. Roll it near the net. Jammed up. Locked. Loose. Puck right in front. A hand pass by Hoggard. It's okay. And the Bruins break it out. Carter with it with Christian. 2-on-2. Leaves it for Christian. Christian a shot. Blocked. Never got near Ranford and got about 10 block shots by the defense. Tikkanen back with Curry. Broken up by Wesley. He breaks with Bob Sweeney. Bob Sweeney can't move in. No skating room there, and Messier comes out. To Tikkanen, a break-in. Tikkanen, a shot and a great stop by Andy Moog. Tikkanen in alone a bit for his second score of the night. And a penalty coming on Edmonton. With the score, 4-0. The Oilers will return in a moment.
Celebrate Barfignugan Fest at your local New England Volkswagen dealer and drive out with this 1990 Volkswagen Fox for only $7,225. Hurry, offer ends May 31st.
Randy Burridge gets the penalty for slashing, not the Oilers. 7:46 left here in the third period.
A little two-hander on Issa Tikkanen. Bob's a great pass here. Sends Tikkanen in. There's what they call the slash. Andy Moog nicely that left leg there.
Greg Johnston on with John Carter. Wesley and Bork on defense. 4-0 the Oilers lead. And the power play. They scored right off the bat on the power play by Anderson. Over the line for Smith. Smith's pass up. Blocked in deep. Messier with it. Puts it out right on the stick of Carter. Carter able to clear it out. Simpson scored a goal at the start of the second period at the end of the Bruins killing off a power play. It wasn't a power play goal, but In effect, Boston not organized, and Messier sent Simpson for a scoring bid. Here comes Smith. He penetrates. Simpson is hit by Galley. Galley gets possession and clears. 1:05 left here on the power play. Oilers taking their time moving it out. Huddy now gets it into center ice for Lamb. Lamb over the line, looking for Tikkanen. It rolls in. Moog knocks it away. Curry, quick one-timer that was missed by Gregg. Now it bounces on a deflection into the stands on the face-off call. 44 seconds left on the Edmonton power play. And the face-off is called outside the line. Andy Moog in the nets, and they've been chanting Andy, Andy, a kind of a mock cheer by the Edmonton fans. He, of course, played here for years, holds 3 Stanley Cup rings as a member of the team, but as a backup to Grant Fuhrer, he wanted the trade. And Andy Moog and Reggie Lemlin certainly instrumental in the Bruins attaining this goal here.
Oh, no doubt
in the
about
finals.
it. They played fantastic. They've got one big game they got to win next. You get that one before you get the next one, and that'll be game 5 in Boston.
Don Sweeney able to clear it with 40 seconds left. Winding up now is Huddy. 2 goals by Anderson, 1 by Simpson, 1 by Tikkanen. And Tikkanen is over the line with speed, and the shot is wide. And the deflection to center ice where Gregg takes over with 6 minutes left in the third. Curry wheels it back in. Bob Sweeney trying to move it out, stopped by Huddy. Huddy up for Lamb. Lamb deep, Tikkanen to Curry. Curry trying to put it in front, blocked. Lamb gets it, holding behind the net. Forced to the corner by Peterson. They battle for it. Lamb and Peterson. Lamb gets it to Tikkanen to Curry, and he couldn't control it in front as Moog moved on him. Full strength Boston. Huddy a shot. Right pad save by Andy Moog. Bruins, they just can't clear it. Now they do. Finally regrouping after killing off the Edmonton power play. 5:17 left here in the third. Breaking now is John Bice. Shift over the line. Shot, save, short side. Ranford covers up with Neely moving there.
Great.
It is Edmonton 4, Boston nothing. We'll return in a moment.
Man, what a day. I could sure use a vacation.
Yeah, I'd like to be right here.
Ice cold, bud.
Hey, maybe tomorrow we should bring the boss.
Nah.
Well, they said, what's wrong with Mark Messier? The answer is nothing. He ticketed 2 of the goals.
He certainly did. He's been playing very well.
Anderson 2 goals, Simpson 1, and that line rated the first line for the Edmonton Oilers. And the other 2 not bad at all, and they carried the attack. John Bice is out there now with Carter and Neely. Carter, a chance, scores! John Carter from the face-off spot to the right of Ranford scores the goal to make it 4-1 with 4:58 left.
Bouncing puck finally went Boston's way. John Carter pounces on it, doesn't try anything fancy. Got it away quick before Ranford could recover. He had to come across the crease. There he is on the post, and he goes, this should be harmless, he thinks. Comes off the backboards. No, he's just not set. He's in deep and not on top of his crease. He wants to be out a little bit farther. That snuck through his legs.
Well, 2 Oilers had it before Carter got it, so goes unassisted. And the Bruins get on the board. And Proharsky calling something here. High stick the signal.
No, must have knocked it down with a high stick.
High stick on Cam Neely.
Going to get a high sticking penalty. Okay.
The goal by John Carter is just about at that faceoff spot to the right of Bill Ranford. Prevents a shutout. And preventing a surge is a high sticking penalty to Cam Neely.
I think what the Bruins wanted to do is in the third period, unrealistic to think that they're going to go out and get 5 unanswered goals against this hockey club. Want to win the period, get things positive, turn in the right direction so when you're coming home, you can establish something in your own building.
15:02, John Carter, the scorer. Boston shorthanded, though, with 4:40 left. Carter out there with Ray Bourque. Bourque able to clear it. Back is Ruotsalainen. In pursuit, Johnston. Forces him to stop. Johnston on with Carter. And good aggressive work by Johnston. Took down Anderson, and Wesley able to clear it. Back comes Messier. Looking for Anderson. The play is outside, and Wesley and Anderson in a collision, and down they go as Wesley stepped right into him.
Good hit by Wesley. Took his man solid. Anderson got great speed. Once Wesley gained body position on him, take him hard. Good solid hit.
And the faceoff called outside the line.
Anderson taking him outside. Wesley said, okay.
.126 left on the Edmonton power play. 4:12 left, third period. 4-1 the Oilers. John Carter, the Boston scorer. Smith is over the line. Pass blocked. Taking it, Messier now. Cross for Smith. Smith trying to put it in front. Flex into the corner. And it is back now for Ruotsalainen. A quick shot by Messier missed the net. Ruotsalainen set him up. Simpson with it. Simpson back at the line. Now to Messier in the corner to Ruotsalainen. In for Simpson. Shot to save Andy Moog, and no rebound. Solid save by Andy Moog, and he's looked at 30 shots in this game.
Bourque and Messier bumping each other.
Well, on June 6th, they'll be candidates in Toronto, of course. It will be the National Hockey League Awards presentation, and Derek Sanderson will be there to make the presentation to whomever it is selected as Rookie of the Year, the Calder Trophy, and Derek won it way back when.
Way back when. My choice would be Jeremy Roenick.
Yes, we all know that. No question about that.
He's in the finals with Mike Modano and Makarov.
But the voting happened before the playoffs. Yes. Roenick was the outstanding rookie of the playoffs with the Chicago Blackhawks. 54 seconds left on the Edmonton power play. Ruotsalainen to Smith. In now for Curry. Outside the line, they say, as the drop pass knocked in by Ruotsalainen. Back in a moment.
Really? Mm-hmm. How did you end up interworking your MS-DOS users with your other PCs?
NET. They designed a CO-based solution that even integrated voice.
I bet you had to make wholesale changes in your terminal gear.
None. And they monitor the network for us. They're even helping us plan for ISDN.
NET handles ISDN?
Yeah.
We're the one for you, New England. New England Telephone, part of the 9X family.
Puck cleared in the Boston end. Bob Sweeney trying to move it out. Stopped by Curry, right point. And off Bob Sweeney into the stands, and the faceoff call just inside the Boston line. There are 29 seconds left on the penalty against Cam Neely for high sticking. 3:15 left in the third. 4-1, the Oilers. 2 goals in the first period by Anderson, 1 a power play. 2 goals in the second period by Simpson and Tikkanen. And it came early and late in the periods.
Now the Edmonton Oilers played a superb skating game. Moved the puck well. Got excellent goaltending.
And that will do it. Ruotsalainen winding up. Still the power play, 18 seconds left. Lead for Tikkanen. He can't get it. He falls down in the Boston zone. Delayed call. He trips Galley, but out comes Don Sweeney. And let's see what Koharski is calling. Is Steve Smith going with Bob Sweeney, and Bob Sweeney got to top him.
Got him.
Swept him down. Bob Sweeney and Steve Smith, two big guys, collided at center. I think there may be something else brewing. Tikkanen tripped Galley.
Tikkanen tripped Galley. Donnie Sweeney's kind of shoving at Curry. They got some, they're big stars. They're not their fighters. Bob Sweeney and Smith. Steve Smith's one of their tough guys.
Oh, Bob stood up to him very quickly, and down went Smith. 2:54 left, 8 seconds on Neely's penalty. And let's see what Koharski's going to call. Bob Sweeney and Smith for sure. And
Randy Burge is just having a rapid conversation. Looks one-sided with Steve Smith. Physical. The Boston Bruins are going to have to hit this hockey club in Boston and hit them every time they move. More taking the body, more finishing the checks, sound smothering defense. You're not going to be able to move with this club that crisscrosses with the speed that they have. You can negate a lot of it at center ice and with laid back forechecking, picking up the wingers. But they keep moving the puck. I think the key is to hit this hockey club. They've had a pretty well kind of a waltz tonight. Been some solid hits, mind you, by Wesley and Peterson. The Oilers' defense hits when it gets a chance, but I think exaggerating hitting would be the way to take Game 5 on.
Well, Game 5, the Bruins are going to have to play like the Oilers did tonight.
Yes, they're going to.
It's that simple.
It's that simple. It doesn't get any. It doesn't certainly get. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure it out.
And at home with the home crowd is Alan Peterson, center ice. Bruins gain the line. Can't complete the play as Neely comes out. 2:43 left. Those were matching 5-minute penalties for fighting. Neely out there. Broken up by Murphy. Back is Peterson. Can't connect on the left wing side with Prop. Huddy is back. Huddy checked by Neely, broken up. Grave pulled down on the play, and Edmonton able to tie it up at a faceoff in the Edmonton zone. 4-1, the Oilers lead. 2:16 left here in period number 3. Total shots of 29 for Edmonton and 25 for Boston.
Well, that's respectable, but the Oilers do not take that many harmless shots. They take shots, they work it down low, back in the corners, dump it off each other, curl, try to find that one open man who could slip his check and get that clear, solid shot away. They've had a few of those tonight.
And the draw, Bice was out there, and Bruins trying to keep it in. Left point they do. Peterson. Shot is blocked. And a 2-on-1 breakaway with Hoggood back alone. Messier and Anderson. Messier checked on the play. He tried to set up Anderson for a hat trick. Didn't work, and Bice is back. Bice over the line. Checked. They follow up by Prop. Doesn't work. Anderson with it. Back in the Boston end. Floats to Wesley. Takes a hard hit from Simpson. Oh, boy, what a belt he gave him. Shot in here, tipped wide by Muni on the point. Oilers looking for pressure on Moog, but Bice works it out, the center ice. Back comes Anderson now over the line. Anderson alone in. Saved. Score by Simpson on the follow-up. Anderson didn't get the hat trick, but Simpson got the goal. And with 1:24 left, it is 5-1, the Oilers.
Glenn Wesley was caught in no man's land, standing still. He had great speed against him in Anderson. When he gets caught here, he's in deep. There goes the fake. He misses the poke shaft. Now he's in. He curls the leg drops the skate down, cuts sharply. Andy Moog reads it. But right there, Wesley's feet just get caught in the inside move. Moog makes the save. Now, there he shoots it, hits the blade of his stick, and pops up over his fallen body.
Craig Janney has not played the third period. We don't see him on the Boston bench. Carter, a shot wide. Didn't miss the post by much. 5-1. Simpson, his second goal of the night. Messier gets his third assist. Bruins start back. Wesley looking for Johnston. Backfoot goes low. Around the boards. It is Murphy starting it away. In the center ice, flips it in. 32 shots for the Oilers. Johnston trying to come out with Carter. Doesn't work. And Gregg flips it back in as the Oilers lead 5-1 with 30 seconds left. Clear out all the way to the Edmonton zone. Simpson, that last goal. And at center ice, it is Murphy over the line with Yelena. In deep. This line has done everything but score. McTavish is out there now for Murphy. Murphy cuts in. Blocked and just covered it. Broke by Moog, but stayed at the line with 4 seconds left. Boy, they came very close on that one. Joe Murphy just getting up. He made a beautiful maneuver in front.
Boy.
Flipped one.
Did he ever? A great individual effort. But the puck, the stick had a magnet, just looped around it, and he went. Tried to find 5-hole. Dropped on the line.
Simpson the goal. Anderson and Messier the assist at 18:36. 4 seconds left. And the draw, Buchberger blocked. Huddy lets one go. And a save by Moog. The shots are 33-25 for the Oilers. In command with 2 goals in the first period, 2 in the second, 1 in the third. John Carter scoring unassisted for Boston. The final score, Oilers 5, Bruins 1. Derek and I will have the Delta recap in just a moment.
It was Nate Greenberg who did all the legwork, I think, on this deal. But thanks to everybody involved. It looks like we'll have a lot of people in gold and black and white out there today, and it should be a lot of fun. And sometimes, you know, we in Boston are those tight, cold New Englanders, and a little unbridled enthusiasm is it's called for right now. I think it'll give the guys a good boost.
Get away from the starchiness and the real conservative approach?
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be fun. You're supposed to let it all hang loose, and hopefully the crowd will do that, and hopefully the players will as well.
Desperate measures?
No desperate measures. I think we've realized that we didn't play well in Edmonton in Game 4, and we've got to play a lot better with a lot more zip. We came out flat. Don't ask me why. I thought, I thought we'd be sky high. Maybe there was a little bit of a sense of accomplishment having taken Game 3, and whatever it was not a good performance for us, and we know it, and I know that this club will rebound.
You know, usually it seems that how a team finishes a game, win, lose, or draw, is kind of the way they come out and start the next game. And maybe the third period of Game 3, Mike, even though you held on to win the game, maybe there were some tentative thoughts.
Well, I don't hold to that theory that, you finish a game and then you start out the next one the same way. I think that, Game 3 for us was kind of a must-win situation, going down 3-0, facing the fourth game. And Edmonton would have put us in an awfully deep hole, and so we wanted to hang on a little bit, and you can understand that, thinking having lost in Boston in 2 difficult ways. So I don't think that was the cause of our Game 4 problems, but we also have to be careful not to exclude Edmonton. They played a pretty good game for us, but although I think we made them look better than they actually were on that given night.
All right, Janney and Neely obviously have struggled, thanks in part to taking in and Edmonton's strategy. As a coach, do you break them up? Do you put somebody new on their line? What are you going to try to do to get them involved?
Well, number one, let me say Cam has had an ample opportunity to put the puck in the net and just has not been able to do it, whether he's, snake bit right now. I think may have gotten a little bit uptight in Game 4. Craig, on the other hand, has... so I think Cam will eventually break out of it. The longer it goes, the better I like our chances. But Craig certainly has had a lot of attention paid to him by Tikkanen. But, you know, all of a sudden, it's the same thing that's happened to Messier in Edmonton. People started to jump all over him. It's pretty tough to shake yourself free when you're being shadowed or watched very closely. And you know, any questioning of Craig Janney is way offline here, because this is a guy that played with one arm through the Hartford series and virtually won it on his performances, who played well against Montreal, excuse me, and again took a lot of abuse. And the same thing happened in Washington. Nobody will forget the Dale Hunter shot. So, you know, I think is feeling the heat and feeling a little frustrated, and confided to me that he felt badly because he recognized that he hadn't been able to contribute. But there are some other factors involved, and I think both of them will bounce back. As far as I'm splitting them up, we'll see what John Muckler does as far as taking care of Craig.
Well, good luck tonight. I know you've got the tickets for Edmonton, and I know a lot of people are holding them for Game 7, and we expect to use them.
Well, I'm excited about this game tonight. You know, we're not looking past it, but we're excited about it, and we're going to be we're hoping that the fans will be just as excited as we are.
Thanks, Coach. Mike Milbury, our guest. Tommy.
All right, David, thank you. I'm Tom Larson. This is Bruins Digest prior to the 5th game of the 1990 Stanley Cup Championship Series between the Boston Bruins and the Edmonton Oilers. With the Bruins trailing 3-1, now you can talk about a must-win. This game is one of those. A look at Game 4 action coming up next on NESN.
Hi, Joe Garagiola here with Johnny Bench back at Toyota's Big League Sales event. The fans are set for great Camry deals. Andrews looks in.
Like the Camry sedan?
Nice. But so's the wagon. But I'll take the sedan. No, I'll take the
She's in a pickle here, John.
No wonder, with savings up to $735 on option packages and factory-to-dealer incentives up to $1,200, any Camry's a good catch. Well, we could be going into extra innings. Toyota's Big League Sales event with even bigger Camry incentives.
It's a whole new ballgame.
Nothing beats the USA. Nothing beats what we've got here. Nothing beats clean, crisp, cold. Nothing beats the king of beer. Yeah, nothing beats a Budweiser. Nothing beats a Budweiser. Nothing beats a Budweiser. Nothing beats a Bud.
Today, you can equip your car with options like power windows, power door locks, power heated seats, a power antenna, power sunroof, even power remote mirrors. But there's only one option that gives power to the driver.
Some guests on NESN's Bruins Digest receive a gift from Carton's Jewelers, who feature Tissot watches. Tissot, Swiss quality time, and Carton's, the best the world has to offer at 15 convenient locations throughout New England. Bruins Digest on NESN tonight as the Bruins are in their one-game-at-a-time mode in their bid to become this year's Stanley Cup champions. When this series started, as we mentioned earlier, the Bruins were considered the favorites. That changed quickly, though, when the Oilers took Game 1 in that 3-overtime marathon and then won the second Game 2 at Boston Garden, before the Bruins finally got one in Game 3 in Edmonton. Game 4 was Edmonton again. He's gone, but not forgotten. Wayne Gretzky's still a presence at Northland's Coliseum as the two clubs ready for Game 4. Andy Moog in the Boston goal. Star of the series so far, Bill Ranford for the Oilers. Bobby Carpenter of the Bruins called for the first penalty of the game, which the Oilers turned into the first goal of the game.
Puck is cleared in, and over the line, Anderson in for a score! Anderson, a power play goal with 11 seconds left on the power play as he faked Moog, who came out to challenge him and put the backhander home.
So much for the Bruins getting a lead and freeing Craig Janney. Edmonton coming up with the better quality shots in the first period. Tikkanen shows all of his moves but runs out of room. Then Edmonton's second of the period.
Work there, check behind the net. Messier with it, pokes it in front. Anderson, a score! Anderson set up on the play by Messier, gets his second goal of the night to make it 2-0.
Anderson, with both of the Oilers' first period scores, came real close to nailing himself a pure hat trick. As the period ended, Oilers by 2 at the end of 1. Word before the game was that Edmonton star Mark Messier wasn't totally healthy. Looked pretty good as he set up Craig Simpson for Edmonton's third, though, just a minute into the second period. And Bill Ranford put on a show again in the second period. Fine stop on Cam Neely. Later, Randy Burridge and Brian Propp.
Behind the net, still going, swings it in front of the corner block. Here's a shot and a save on Burridge. Couldn't have a better setup. And a break here, over the line comes Propp, breaking in alone. Shot, the save, Ranford.
For Ranford, just more of what he'd shown in the first 3 games as the lead mounts.
With Curry over the line. Whirling, gets it across for Tikkanen. The shot, scores! Unbelievable goal there on a perfectly harmless-looking play. Tikkanen from Curry to make it 4-0 after the Bruins did everything but score at the other end.
Edmonton 4-0 at the end of 2. A little frustration showing in the third period. Don Sweeney introduces Peter Klima to the Bruins crossbar. Small consolation, but the Bruins were able to ruin Ranford's shutout. John Carter with a shot that goes through a maze of players to make it 4-1. All for naught, though. Craig Simpson makes it a 4-goal game again on a rebound of Glenn Anderson's shot. And the Oilers win Game 4 in convincing fashion, 5-1. They take a 3-1 lead in the series. They head back to Boston for Game 5. And for the first time in the series, the Bruins had been clearly outplayed. 5-1 the final score, and it was indicative of the play on the ice. And the comments afterwards were exactly what you would expect in that situation.
In order for our hockey club to win, we have to score. Our line has to produce, and we've got to be on top of our game. And it was very vital that we took the game to them. And tonight our line came out storming and dominated the play.
I don't know. There's no way to explain it. It's definitely a game. You know, it's the most important game of the series, and now it's down 3-1. We're coming back home, so we're just back. You know, we played better when we were desperate, and we're more desperate than ever right now.
They certainly control things, and you know, we have to control Messier and Anderson, I think, a lot better. They were freewheeling pretty well tonight.
We've still got a lot of work, and we know, like all the guys have been around know. And the nice thing about it is that all the new guys have never been there are talking like, hey, well, if we do win it, it'll be great, but we haven't won anything yet.
I think we came out kind of flat. We weren't jumping, we weren't skating. It seemed like we didn't have as good a legs as we had in the first 3 games. A little flat, I don't know why, but no excuses.
At any rate, the Oilers find themselves 1 win away from winning their 5th Stanley Cup in the last 7 years. Wayne who? Bill Ranford, one of the big reasons that the Oilers are where they are at the moment. And another one is Craig Simpson. Craig is with Nesson's Dave Shea. David?
All right, Tom, thank you. In Game 4, the Northlands Coliseum was big enough, but as the game progressed, it seemed to get about as big as the whole province of Alberta. And Craig Simpson was one reason why the ice seemed so big. You guys had more room to move around, Craig, in Game 4 than I think you had in the first 3 games combined. Why?
Well, it was definitely a game where we dictated the way we wanted to play, and I think right from the drop of the puck, we were ready that night, and we got our skating game going. I think we got them back on their heels a little bit, playing a little defensively, and over 3 periods, I thought we kept the pressure on. It made it difficult for them to get going, and it looked like we had more room than we actually did.
At the time, it was easy to speculate what might Game 1 do to both clubs, especially the loser. Looking back at it, do you think that game took an awful lot out of the Bruins and made it tough for them to rebound for Game 2?
Well, I think it had to take a lot out of them. It took a lot out of us, and we were even the winners. And any time where you have a game where you play with so much emotion and heart for that long and come out on the short end of it, it's a little more devastating than us who won. We felt, you know, we felt a little fresher, and it was certainly the biggest game of the series at that point.
First 2 games, they had the Oilers at least 1.5 games. I'll preface that, had your club bottled up pretty good. You broke loose the second half of Game 2, but you personally had your biggest night in Game 4. Why do you feel that you were able to have such a big night?
Well, our line really got it going. Our line, you know, only had a couple goals in the first 3 games, and that's sort of something that we need to do is generate some offense. And it's no secret that our line has to score, and we all came to that game prepared and felt that it was the biggest game in the series. We needed to win that to come back 3-1 as opposed to 2-2, and everything just clicked for us, and we sort of were able to dictate how we wanted to play.
Well, a month ago, you folks were in the same boat the Bruins are in. That is, down 1-3, having to win 3 in a row, going back home to try to stay alive. How do you liken your situation to what they are in?
Well, I think in the Winnipeg series, we were playing very good hockey. We just weren't getting many breaks, and we felt we had a team that could beat the Winnipeg Jets, but needed to just continue working hard, and I'm sure Boston feels the same way, and I think you have to look at it as in that situation. You can't get down when you're down 3-1, and we know with them having the home ice advantage, they need to win this game tonight and then try to take us back to Edmonton and beat us. So it helps us a little bit being in that situation before and coming through it, to know that we can't, let this game slip by us. This is a huge game for us.
All right, Craig, good luck. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks a lot.
Craig Simpson, our guest, Tom.
All right, David, so is it one more game or 2, maybe 3? The Bruins, of course, to have a shot at accomplishing what all of this is all about, it would have to be 3, a full 7-game series, and the Bruins would have to pull off what would be one of the all-time great Stanley Cup comeback. Yeah, it is a long shot, but so was Harry Truman against Dewey, Namath and the Jets, Villanova against Georgetown, for just a few examples of many. Back in a moment on your New England Sports Network.
Air Canada travels the world and brings back to you its international accents, like the Swiss accent on precise timing, London's on courtesy, the warmth of Lisbon, the charm of Vienna. The next time you fly the U.S. to Canada, choose Air Canada, the international way to cross the border.
In the future, what energy sources will be waiting for our children? Boston Gas will, with the fuel that even now is cleaner and kinder for their environment. The one that comes from our own backyard. The one with enough supply for years to come. And the one our children will use tomorrow for everything, from heating to cooling, to buses that run on natural gas. Boston Gas. For these times, it's a natural.
Man, what a day. I could sure use a vacation.
Yeah, I'd like to be right here.
Ice cold, bud.
Hey, maybe tomorrow we should bring the boss.
Nah.
Welcome back to this Game 5 edition of Bruins Digest on NESN. Tom Larson with a quick Stanley Cup history note that applies to the situation that the Bruins face tonight. This will be the 10th time in the Bruins' history that they have faced elimination in a 7-game Stanley Cup series. Now, in the previous 9 games, if you believe 6 of those 9 were against Montreal, they won 3 and lost 6. So 3 times in 9 tries they avoided elimination. But in all 9 of those series, they ended up losing the series. 0 for 9. We are just a couple of minutes from Game 5, which could be everything from the start of an extremely rare hockey comeback for the Bruins to an extremely disappointing and premature end to what otherwise has been an outstanding season. We talked with the Bruins. We talked with the Oilers.
And we just got to concentrate on our game. We just got to be ready and not let them get the jump on us. Last game, they definitely did, and we put ourselves behind the 8 ball now, and we got to come out flying.
These are the type of games that you don't love to play, but they're easy to play because you've got nothing to lose. You just got to go out and work as hard as you can, and that's it. There's the strategy we have to do. We know what we have to do. And we just got to go out and try and perform to the best that we can. And they're fun in a way because, like I said, you have nothing to lose. You're relaxed. It's easy. There's no sense being tense because it doesn't do any good in a game like tonight.
And we know how difficult it is to win the 4th game of any series. When you play against a club which knows if they lose, they're going to be eliminated, and their hopes of winning the Stanley Cup are gone forever. until the following season. They're a difficult team to play against because they're a proud team and they're a talented team and they're capable of winning.
It's going to be a real tough game. You know, the whole series has been tough, even though there's been a couple lopsided scores. But you know, they're a team of pride and hard work, and they're going to come out and give it their best shot tonight.
That's all we can do is prepare for our game. We didn't really play that well as a team in Game 4, as everybody knows, and you know, we can certainly play a lot better. We just have to prepare for our best game, and whatever happens, happens.
Now, statistically, over the course of a season, it's true that the team that scores first wins the greater majority of hockey games. In this series so far, it's 4 for 4. I want to say hello to my compadres from WBOS Radio who are celebrating their first anniversary tonight, watching the Bruins at the Sail Loft, watching the Bruins tonight on Nesson. It's an ocean of gold down at Boston Garden, and now stand by for Boston Bruins Stanley Cup hockey on your New England Sports Network.
Every day, more people count on Bank of New England than any other bank in New England. More than 1 million New Englanders have their savings with us. Almost as many do their checking with us. And this year, they'll use our New England-wide ATM network over 30 million times. When New Englanders look for financing, for their homes, their businesses, and their future, they look to us first. Today, New Englanders will find checking and savings accounts so innovative, their performance is actually guaranteed. And they'll have the technology for banking at home and the convenience of loan approval right over the phone.
Getting it done for you.
Today, we do business with more families in more communities than any other bank in New England. Today, more than ever, the bank for New England is the Bank of New England.
We're getting it done for you. Getting it done.
Nothing beats it.
Nothing beats it.
Nothing beats it.
The one and only.
Nothing beats it.
The clean, the crisp, the cold. The king of beers.
Nothing beats the Bud. Nothing beats the king of beers. Nothing beats a Budweiser. Nothing beats a Bud.
This is Nesson, your ticket to New England sports.
Going for it, Wesley, trying to clear it out, does. 8 seconds left. They have to wait. It's blocked. It goes in deep. Back for it is Bork. 2 seconds, 1. And they salute Andy Moog. What a tremendous performance by Moog in the third period as the Bruins win the game 2-1.
Sunday night, the Bruins finally entered the winner's circle in the Stanley Cup Final Series. Andy Moog had regained the edge he seemed to lose in Game 2. And Mike Milbury's lineup shifts paid immediate dividends. Both John Bice and Greg Johnston, a pair of Stanley Cup spectators for most of the spring, scored the Bruins goals in the 2-1 win. Another victory in Game 4 and the series would return to Boston tied. There was a feeling of anticipation at the Northlands Coliseum before the fourth game. Could the Bruins even the series? The first clue came early on.
Puck is cleared in and over the line. Anderson in for a score. Anderson, a power play goal with 11 seconds left on the power play as he faked Moog, who came out to challenge him and put the backhander home.
The Oilers control this one from start to finish. The Bruins were out-hit, out-skated, and outscored as Edmonton took a commanding 3-1 lead. Only one other team has come back from a 3-1 hole, the 1942 Toronto Maple Leafs, and that club had trailed Detroit 3-0. If the Bruins fail in their quest, this Stanley Cup final will be remembered as a series of close calls and squandered opportunities, and a series where a former Bruin stole the spotlight when everything was on the line.
Tonight, the Bruins return to Garden Ice in search of a home ice win. They'll look to the Boston crowd for a boost as they hope to force a 6th game in Edmonton. But for now, it's first things first, because the Bruins are on the verge of elimination. Stand by for Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals. The Boston Bruins and the Edmonton Oilers, live on NESN. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Boston Garden. I'm Dave Shea, and even though the Bruins have not been down 1-3 yet in this postseason, believe me, they have been there before. At least mentally, they've been there before. Remember going into the third period of Game 4 in Hartford in the opening series? Bruins down 5-2 and staring a 1-3 deficit square in the face? Well, they mustered up whatever it took to win that hockey game and go on and win the series to get this far, a shot at the Stanley Cup. And that's the same kind of desperation the Bruins must show tonight when they take the ice for the opening face-off. They must find a way to crowd the net in front of Bill Ranford, be there for whatever rebounds, and keep the Oilers away from in front of Andy Moog. In other words, the Bruins must play their game. Skate, hit, play Boston Garden hockey. It'll be Moog and Ranford once again tonight for the 5th time in this series. It could be the final time in the Cup Finals. For a closer look at this one, let's go up to the booth right now with Fred and Derek.
Thank you, Dave. The focus has been on the Boston Bruin attack, or lack thereof, and that kind of points up Craig Janney and Cam Neely. Neely needs to get some goals tonight.
Well, Cam Neely's running into a very hot goaltender, and Craig Janney certainly has a ton of talent. I think the media and the press a little bit too harsh on Craig. He's fighting his way through some great coverage. The two of them going to have to get going, and that's what the Bruins are all about.
Well, for Cam Neely, certainly with 7 shots in that first game, he unloaded them with Janney being well covered.
Well, when Neely can shoot it, when he gets to shoot the puck, I'm telling you, he's dangerous anytime he touches it. Might have got a little bit too offensive, thinking I've got to do the job for the guys. What he's got to do is go out and have fun, be bouncing, be dancing, going to the puck.